Welcome everyone to day 2 of the ChessKid National Festival in Charlotte, North Carolina. It is me, James Canty the third, aka the Jedi. I see you in chat. I see you guys everywhere. Welcome, guys. We are here day 2, round 3 and 4 are starting today. I'll be doing commentary on both. So got a lot of kids, lots of fun, lots of events and content that's happened so far. And we're here. We got round 3 and 4 coming up, so we're excited for it. Looks like we already have the fun man himself with us too as well. There he is.
All right.
Fun Master Mike. What's up, Mike?
Good to be back with you.
Yes.
And stream's looking good. You're looking good.
Thank you, Mike. You are too, man. You need to probably go clean up a little bit, Mike.
I do. Shaving is
Mike looks good,
it's the one part of my head that's not fully gray yet, so I'm trying to stay with it. But we're going to talk about that lack of merch you've given me later. We expect to have a bigger crowd in person here because we've got a forward-facing monitor, so I think more parents are going to be joining us here. But yeah, round 3 is kicking off. We had a bunch of announcements.
Nice.
Just to let everybody know, we're going to have a girls-only event.
Okay.
The Botezes are doing their thing. I'm going to be playing kids.
Sweet.
But we don't really matter when there's a popcorn machine.
Oh,
that was the big announcement.
Oh, yeah.
Is the popcorn coming back? Yes. Somehow the convention center did not kick us out. There's going to be popcorn all over the floors.
Yes.
Did you get your face painted yesterday?
I did not. Are they there today?
We probably need to get the face painter to come live on the air
and get a Jedi on your face.
Yeah, we are live. Yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it
right now. We're doing it, Martin. What's up? That's Martin on the back end.
But if you need me, this is free. Freestyle chess is not just in Germany.
Yeah,
it's also here in Charlotte. So if you need me, you just give me the look. Okay.
You know what I mean?
You give me the look, and I give me the look. All right. I guess it's not needed. The key to becoming a good boss is making yourself irrelevant.
Really?
Yeah, I made myself irrelevant right then.
Okay.
I deputized Martin with my eyeballs.
What's up, Martin? We got Alex on the back end too.
We gave out some awards right then, by the way. Well, Andrew Wu got second place in the Blitz.
Okay.
And first place.
Who was first?
Well, I actually forgot.
Oh, nice.
Because the names were coming at me. Maybe my parents going to be my roving reporter here. I'm not sure.
Right.
But I'll tell you a funny story. The kid that finished third in the K8 Blitz, his name's Arjun. I taught him in kindergarten.
Wow.
Back when I was still a teacher teaching in the schools.
Whoa.
He might be one of the last kids that can ever say they were taught by me in person.
Wow.
Like I came into his school. Yeah. I used to teach chess as a curriculum subject.
Sweet.
This is Myers Park Elementary. We have any Eagles joining us Sunday morning? Probably not.
Any Eagles?
But that was kind of cool.
No, that is pretty cool, actually. I think my buddy, my student Ryan got 5th place. So
yes,
just heard from his dad there. So shout out to Ryan, got 5th place there.
And tell us all about the special thing that Ryan wins.
Yes. Ryan wins the pie in the face. Is that what he wins?
Yes, he gets the pie in the face.
I wonder who he gets the pie. Oh yeah, you already gave it out. Okay, well, Mike's getting pie in the face again, right? How was the first time? Was that good?
It was yummy. The kid was actually. I messed up all your screens. The kid was actually quite nice, and he hit me square in the face. And I don't have that many ChessKid shirts.
Yeah.
So that was my, Levy cared about his shoes yesterday in Super Soaker Chess, and I cared about my shirt. So I don't know when Ryan's going to get to pie me in the face, but he will.
Well, that's going to be fun. You see Ryan pieing Mike in the face a second time. If you guys missed it, of course, you can watch the content, go to the ChessKid social platforms. You'll be able to see Mike Klein getting hit in the face with a pie.
Right.
That was amazing.
And Levy getting hit with a Super Soaker. Now that is going to be something that we have to edit. So it'll be on the ChessKid YouTube channel at some point. So, like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't comment on the ChessKid YouTube channel because we're on YouTube for kids. We'll talk about it off air. We just said that out loud. But you can like and subscribe. You can do 2 out of 3.
You can talk in the chat on Twitch here. We do have Twitch chat open. Hi, Jedi C Money. What's up, buddy? He's on my stream. MVP Chess, Monkey Knight. I saw you yesterday.
Yeah.
Welcome. We got some games.
Let's do it. Yeah, 3-minute delay is now over, so we know we're 3 minutes into the round.
Okay.
And we have somebody playing a ready or King's Indian attack.
See what board is this? Board 1. Okay, this is board 1. Andrew Wu got second yesterday.
He got second in the Blitz, but I think he's still the top seed in the main tournament. And he's playing Musa and Nashad. And yeah, so let's see if Musa knows any system to play against this. I'm curious if White will play the C4 ready systems or will play like a King's Indian attack. Could even play D4 and play a Catalan setup. So really, when you fianchetto your bishop, you're not announcing your opening. The pawns are going to determine the opening.
This is why this is the most annoying opening to face with the black pieces which is why I was a King's Indian fan for a very long time. Be my first grandmaster over the board with King's Indian.
Yeah.
In fact, because like they just play knight f3, g3, bishop g2, and they castle and just you don't know what they're going to do with the pawns.
Yeah.
So here we have some type of maybe Grunfeld or symmetrical. Um, um, what is this? King's Indian or like back the same for both sides. Bishop g7, castle, and d4, and we'll have ourselves a symmetrical position.
Yeah, the pawns, like I said, are the fingerprints of the opening. We
Mhm.
don't know what the name of the opening is going to be until White declares if he's going to play D3 or D4 or C4. All are moves, all are possible. So it should be cool. By the way, we also didn't mention yet that there was a live band yesterday.
Oh yeah, the chess
Benjamin
band,
Benjamin
Blunder or
Check
something.
and the
Yeah,
Poisoned Pawn. Anyway,
that's a great name.
kind of sounds like I named that band. But their best rhyme was something like "There is no pain like Zug Zwang."
Oh man, that
Yeah,
is tough.
and
That hurts.
I know you're thinking about moving to Charlotte, so you
Yeah,
need to
absolutely.
practice your Southern drawl.
Okay,
Because if you go with the German pronunciation, you're not going to rhyme.
really?
Yeah,
What's the German? Oh, it was Schutzwung.
yeah,
Something
Zugzwang.
crazy. You gotta
Yeah,
say it all fast or
yeah.
something.
I know Detroit's
Yeah.
a little more famous for music than Charlotte, but maybe you could teach us something. Okay, might be a King's Indian
Yes,
attack.
King's Indian attack we have already with d3 early. Now, of course, you have lots of plans for black here. You can go with the c5 option, the e5 option as well. Sometimes, really enough, even b5, trying to stop the c4 push that white will be trying to do. This King's Indian attack with the knight b to d2 is trying to go e4, rook to e1. You may even try h4, h5. The regular stuff with knight f1, knight h2. I can draw a lot more arrows like Hikaru does. I do have graduated from the school of Hikaru. So after e4, rook e1, of course, is a thing. c3 and queen e2. Lots of ideas from white here. Black, I don't know how to respond most likely. I'll probably go knight c6 with the idea of e5. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, I like your explanation of exactly how to play the white setup. White can almost play those moves nearly irrespective of what black does. I actually made a mistake recently. I recorded something for YouTube where I showed the famous Fischer Magnuson game.
Which one is that?
King's Indian attack where he checkmates on the dark squares.
Oh,
But
okay.
I have the mistaken belief that Bobby Fischer played the King's Indian attack a lot.
Yeah.
Really, it's just his game with Magnuson was so famous that we have the mistaken belief that somehow he played it a lot.
Yeah.
But if he's able to play it, then that shows us that it's playable.
Absolutely, 100% at the top level. In fact, they use the King's Indian still a lot at the top level these days. I mean, just to get away from natural theory or mainline theory, of course, but gives you an easy plan and setup, and you can kind of be flexible what you want to do with the white pieces here. Black, on the other hand, has to choose how they want to proceed, and knight b to d7 is the option here.
Yeah, that's usually a sign that you want to play e5, but you don't want to block your c pawn. In fact, it'd be kind of funny if you'd played knight c6, which we call the happy square in ChessKid land. White could actually play d4 and lose a tempo, but then now black wouldn't have a pawn break in the center. I'm not saying I would play d4, but now black can't play either c5 or e5. So plus, when you play knight d7, you can play e5 and c5. You can get more control of the center. So that's the reason that the knight went to a non-traditional square for black by going to d7.
Doesn't work.
By the way, I still play the King's Indian attack versus only one opening.
What is that? The French. Oh yeah, the French defense. Absolutely. Yeah, that's where it scores the best. In fact, 60% plus in the database.
Wow,
it is a lot.
Dropping some data.
Okay, oh yeah, I'm definitely on my database game. My big Mike. Absolutely.
Yeah, I play kids. I don't look at databases. I'm barely in any databases.
Right.
Yeah.
Barely even in the
if you search Klein, you're going to
see
you're going to what's funny, I was the #1 Klein in the world for many years.
Really?
And it was all these Germans, and then there's me at the top.
Wow.
But then this guy David Klein, I think he's Dutch, he became a grandmaster.
That's your brother.
David messed me up.
Somehow long lost brother there.
Yeah. But yeah, against the French, you get the pawn to e5.
Correct.
It becomes, we usually think of a pawn on the 6th rank as a wedge, and it divides the board. If black plays e6, which is not a strong move, we could almost get a similar position where white plays e5. In fact, that's probably why black should not play e6, because e5 is already a problem for black, actually. Unless the knight goes back to e8 and the pawn becomes loose, but white can just play d4 and it almost switches to like an advanced French type setup.
Absolutely. Some type of advanced French, or you see some King's Indian structures, even Perk, aka Pierce, is what the guys at home say, or how the pronunciation is, Pierce. But e5 themselves
Yeah, but I think black should do that because
Absolutely.
e5 was becoming a problem for white, and so black just blockades that square.
Himself. And now we have to figure out what we want to do. Do we want to allow a d4, which will give us some maybe knight c4 action, put a pawn on a4 to stop b5 from kicking the knight from the c4 square, attacking the e5 pawn? You also have ideas of course, this being the King's Indian attack, which is the reverse of King's Indian defense. We have something like knight h4 and then f4 f5, which is something that we can play. And really from both sides, black can do the same with knight h5, f5, f4. It's really about who is going to do what first. Black does have not full control, but control over the center thus far, or at least their fair share in the center. So black is actually quite fine.
And a good pro tip that I learned the hard way. I was actually obstinate. I didn't believe my coach growing up, but I wanted to play f4 in these positions so bad. I would move my knight like to h4, e1, and I'd play f4, and the position's a little too loose. Basically, the rule of thumb is this: don't play for f4 until black has played d4, until black has closed up the center. There's probably a great way I could describe that to you in sort of positional terms, but if you're not, just use my memory technique. Okay, don't play for f4 in these positions unless black has himself closed the center.
Yesterday this is actually in chat, they said about the f pawn. They were like, "Yeah, the Fun Master would you didn't get permission from FunMasterMike."
That's one of my most famous expressions.
Yeah, something from ChessKid that they said.
But I gave myself permission. I put it in my wallet.
Okay, and I have permanent slip or something. Okay.
This is actually easier for white to play to take.
Yeah,
because although I would say that kids in general are not comfortable with tension, with pieces aiming at each other like adults are, or it's really stronger versus weaker player divide. Right. But here now white can play knight c4, rook e1, develop the bishop. It's a little more natural for white to play this way, and you're not delaying the decisions in the center.
Yeah, this is actually in reverse. There is an exchange variation. In fact, this is kind of the same. King's Indian attack is obviously King's Indian defense in reverse, and usually this setup with this is against the Finchetto variation.
Okay.
Kind of just very strange how everything is in reverse here. But if you're playing it from black side, you usually would put the knight on d7, and like you mentioned, you play rook e1, you play knight c4, you play a4, and this is all the moves that you would make from the black side as well. Where you stop b5, you put pressure on this pawn, you play c3, queen to c2, and we really try to bully this pawn at some point. Maybe we can go queen b3, play on the queen side as well with a5. So lots of ideas here. Moves can be played very, very fast here from white and black too as well. So we have to see what happens.
Yeah, in fact, I believe I've had this set up a bunch where the knight goes here and the pawn goes into a4, and then this pawn on c5 is almost like a reverse Catalan where black is playing white. And I have too much experience because against Grandmaster Alex Vaitkevich, he played the Catalan against me 3 years in a row at the same tournament, and I almost got tortured. But anyway, there's not quite going to be the same position because this bishop would actually be much happier on e6 because of the fact that this diagonal is opened. And so this bishop should be here. This pawn should be on h6 to prevent knight to g5. So the one difference here, this knight is in a little bit of an awkward spot. Now, already we're getting close to threats. This knight is no protector. The bishop is lined up with it. However, all knight takes e5 ideas can be answered by knight takes e5. Discovered defense, if we can cue that term. We're so far, we're at mini Hikaru. We have about 5 arrows on the board. So I'm going to leave them there. And can you finish the paint job?
Well, absolutely. It feels good here to see all the arrows, right? Of course, I mean, you do have rook e1 to put more pressure on there. A4 to stop the b5 push, which is going to be annoying to kick the knight away. h6, as we pointed out before, which was stop a knight g5. You have a lot of Benoni positions where you like to go knight g5 over to e4, sometimes c5 as well. So, of course, we got lots of arrows here, and we can draw more guys. But
eat your heart out of the card. Okay, let's have some fun here. So let's play b5 now. Okay, and now the knight can go here to pressure this knight. And with this bishop lined up, even the possibility of c4, I think it's a little early. So if I was white, I would not be so afraid of b5 just yet because of that diagonal. But yeah, eventually white often does play a4 to solidify the knight on this square. So black probably should overprotect that pawn. It's a term we use when you don't need to guard it, but you're probably going to need to guard it one day.
Rook e8, f6, don't play that one. Rook e8 looks really good though, and also maybe a c6, queen c7 as well. Lots of ideas in this game. We're going to actually go around and take a look at the next board. This board here is Krishna on board 2 versus Benjamin. So let's take a look at how we got to this position. D4 and D5, C4, standard stuff, knight C3. Okay, we have a queen's gambit decline, main line, bishop E7, E3, bishop D3, H6, and bishop H4. Castles, all stuff you would see in a regular game. Knight F3, castle king side, actually castle queen side here just because I'm super aggressive. This is how I play games, but castle kingside is the safer route. Knight e4, take. Yeah, this is all sort of theory. Check, and then moving the bishop back to d3. And this check here is a very interesting check. A lot of times having this check, this is a very advanced check. I see this a lot, and especially at high-level games. This check is to actually draw the king to h8. So later on, literally in an endgame, the king is on the worst square it could be. It's going to actually take a lot longer to get to the center of the board when pieces trade off, just having the king here on h8. So this little check actually does have some merit to it. Then we go back to d3, bishop b7, h3, knight f6, knight e5, king back to g8.
So you want a tempo.
Man, they just want a tempo, right?
Okay.
And then rook d1. And here we are in the live position.
Okay, now I need help. This is a legitimate question. Sometimes when I do streams with stronger players, I set them up with questions that I know the answer to for educational purposes. This is not one of those times I literally don't know. So in these positions, all I know how to do, and we call it a Carlsbad pawn structure, right?
100%.
The only thing I know how to do as white here is to play for b4, b5, put a rook on the c file, and weaken the c6 pawn. So
very nice.
Why did the rook come to d1, Canty? Why didn't it come to c1?
That's a great question. In fact, especially they always say which rook, and it's always the wrong rook. In
Right.
fact, of course, which rook goes where. So this rook could have went to c1, the f rook going to d1. So we have pressure down the files here when we want to make some.
So is white going to play e4?
That's the great question here. E4 may be the plan because the rook's on d1. If it's on d1, we do want to actually open this up, but that gives us an isolated pawn, which actually becomes a target. And you have the ISO pawn. Where now black will be playing against this pawn the entirety of the game. Of course, based off the pawn structure tells you the plans of what you should be doing in every game is the pawn structure. So based off the pawn structure, white should be playing for what Mike said is the minority attack, is what they call this, minority versus majority over here. So we need to play b4, b5, weaken the c pawn, and do this, and we would have a lot of more fun with the rook on c1 rather than d1. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, but yeah, if you're black, you want to play detective. Like, why did the rook come to d1? Oh, the rook's lined up with my queen. e4 must be the plan. Now, maybe that prompts a response, maybe not, but I want to know what my opponent's up to. So you've got to be a little bit of a detective here. So you've got to be Kojak. Was he a detective or was he a policeman?
You know, I think he was.
Is that Yul Brenner?
That's a good question.
Nobody understands what I'm saying.
I do not.
My dad is texting me right now. Mike, you did not pay attention when I.
From black standpoint, maybe we go queen c7, b6. I mean, but I always like to say that good things happen when you develop pieces. So bishop e6, of course, is a development move.
Yeah, plus if e4 happens and you trade, you now have an outpost square. So you're already lining up your pieces to occupy that outpost square.
That's exactly right. And then we want to trade pieces, of course, so the isolated pawn is weaker, and then they have way more problems there. So in the meantime, let's take a look at some more games.
Sounds good.
That one.
And our audience is filling up. Parents, how many of you are nervous right now for your kids? It's round 3.
All right.
How many of you have kids on a DGT board this round? All right. Well, let's hear it. What's your child's name? It's okay. Scarborough. I'm sorry about the Paul Simon reference yesterday. Okay. So Junior Scarborough. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So we got a parent here, and we're going to try to appease the live audience here. So oh boy, we got Ryan's dad and Junius's mom. Okay. All right, let's keep everything above the belt in there in the audience. Okay. All right, well, we'll see what's going on in that game. So Ryan opens with the London.
The London system.
But not the Jobava London.
Yeah, in fact.
You are not making royalties on this game.
I'm not making royalties at all on this one. Jobava London is my Jessable course, of course, so don't have that one. But this is a London system, which actually is very solid. Of course, the London system in games actually do favor white. That's from Gada Kamsky says. And it actually does. But so far, so good from both sides here. Everything's very equal. This is mainline London, or something that you would play with white and black, actually. Bishop d6 is all theory so far. Bishop d3, b6, very playable. Castles, bishop b7, rook c1. Yeah, all standard moves. Knight goes into e5. Taking with the bishop was a mistake by the engine, but of course it is it's understandable to take this to get rid of the annoying knight. Takes back knight d7, which is putting pressure on this pawn, which is defended by f4. So we would like to go f5 at some point, but it does hang the e5 pawn. So you may have to have a plan like knight f3, and there may be some Greek gift sacrifices, but knight f8 is going to be a thing. Let's actually play around here. Whose move is it? So what happens? c4. So he needs to move the bishop now. So maybe bishop b1, and then I need to figure out what to do with black. Maybe just go here now. It's kind of annoying, but they say there is no mate with a knight on f8. You ever heard that one,
I
Mike?
have heard that one. I've been around the block.
There's no mate with a knight on f8. So this could be a nice defensive move.
Yeah.
Put a knight around the g6, but a little bit passive for black, especially because of the bishop. But we do have some space, and it is nevertheless a double-edged game so far.
Yeah, there's not a lot of pieces around black's king, so I see your point of knight f8. However, you don't lose an option, but you lose one possibility. If we can put that knight back on d7, we know things like f5 or queen h5 are going to be a problem. And even when you stop mate, if you have to end up playing g6, you have no dark squared bishop, and my bishop's coming to h4. So my point is this: what if black plays f5 in this position? Because it's better to play f5 when you can take back en passant with your knight, I think.
Boom.
So when you play knight f8 right away, you don't necessarily lose this possibility because you could take back with the queen, but I think you'd prefer your knight to be on that square. I think white would take en passant because white's got the bishops. And if you don't take en passant, then your dark squared bishop, it may never, it can get to h4, but it's harder to induce black to play g6. So even when your bishop gets to h4, it's still not really in the game. Now white's going to have to play for g4, which could take a couple of moves to accomplish. So I'm not saying f5 is the perfect defensive move, but it's at least a thought in this position. And hopefully, Junius's mom knows that doesn't actually need my written permission to move the f-pawn. I cannot give my written permission in this tournament, but it's a thought. So computer doesn't love it, but doesn't hate it.
Yeah, of course, you have to think of it from the practical standpoint. Of course, you do see the eval bar, but even in King's Indian, one of the best openings ever with the black pieces against everything d4, e4, b4, c4, everything that's not e4. King's Indian, the engine hates it because of the space advantage that you usually are giving up, but you have fighting chances. And even the greats have played the King's Indian as well. So engine may not like it as much, but from practical standpoint, playing humans, after en passant here, knight takes, I do like the dynamicism from both sides.
Yeah.
Black is going to have to open up things like this and this to open up this bishop at some point, but we have to time it correctly. White does have probably a slight edge here, I think, favored, having the bishop here in an open position with bishop h4 being some type of idea as well. Even g4, g5, my aggressive stuff, my favorite square is g4 on the board because I just love putting a pawn there and being annoying. So you do have lots of fun here with the white pieces, but black has their own chances as well.
Right. I will be honest with you. If I played f5 as black, I'd be hoping my opponent forgot about en passant because I think it is the best move for white. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Interesting game.
Yeah.
All right.
It's hard to come up with a plan for black too.
Yes. Yeah. So any moves yet? Nothing. Bishop did go to c2, and now it's black's move as we wait.
Bishop b1 I like a little bit more because I don't know that you'd play queen c2 or anything, but the bishop's not hurting anything on just being on b1.
Yeah.
And I don't know, if you play b3 later and totally change action, your rook supporting the c-pawn, that could be useful. I'm not sure.
Pick it all up, 100%.
All right.
Move around, see what we got. Let's go to board 4.
All right, K8 championship. These are the big kids. A lot of them are over 2,000.
This is the Carol Exchange, I think. I'm a big fan of this with the white pieces. I used to work with Roman Gingiashvili, which is ridiculous last name, or you can just put in DZ. I always tell people in the chat, type in Roman DZ, slap the keyboard, put chess next to it, and then it come up every time on Google.
You know,
you just can't spell his last name.
In my first month of working at ChessCom, he was still making videos for us.
Oh, Roman, wow.
Yeah. And the funny thing is he lived right by Logan Airport in Boston.
Okay.
And a lot of times during the recording, the planes would fly overhead and we'd have to
redo it. Hey, Roman, sorry, we got to redo it.
Roman, if you're out there, we're happy you're still around. And
legend.
How's he doing?
He's doing good, actually. He's doing pretty good. He's in Boston, in fact. So after d5, I learned a lot from him. He did like the exchange variation. And after bishop d3, knight c6. This is all theory. Bishop f4, bishop g4, queen b3. I've won some nice games with this. E6 happened. This happened. They didn't take it. Wow.
Yeah, you know, I have a
cautionary
tale. Yeah, actually, that is pretty bad for black. Yeah, let's put the pawn back on e7. A big lesson I tell kids in these positions is when white's queen can come to b3, be really careful about developing your queenside bishop because so many disasters happen on b7. And even if you play b6, then disasters happen on the knight on c6.
Right.
These are some like well-known traps in these sorts of positions. You know, where white gets a knight to e5 as well. So Anyway, of course, not
That's
guarding b7 is
crazy.
not a great option either. I think queen
Yeah.
c8 is the standard way to guard
Yeah,
that pawn.
actually, in fact, there's a lot of theory behind this. Actually, from the both sides, there are some lines actually at the highest level with Shaq Mamadirov, who actually played it was the Queen D7's lines with Bishop to D6,
Okay.
and sacrificing this pawn later on for initiative on the king side.
Okay.
But that's after Black is already castled and etc. After
Right.
Queen B3, the moves are Queen to B6, which doesn't score the best because of things like you actually play Knight D2, and even if takes, there's a very nice win percentage for white here. Just playing b4, b5, you double the rooks on the file here. You also go knight f3, knight e5. It's really, really fun for white in these positions, even though having the double pawns here, black just thinks they're getting away, when in fact they're already in a lot of uncomfortable, I think.
And some
Queen
of our
D7
viewers might be wondering, why can you sack the pawn with the queen on d6 and not here? And the reason is, whenever the pawn on b7 is captured, you need to be able to answer with rook b8 right away, and you can't do that with your knight hanging. So when Shaq sacks his pawn, first of all, he's Shaq, which never hurts, right? You know, being a former 2800 is a good way to improve your chess score. But after queen takes b7, if you want to make that pawn poisoned, you have to get very quick tempos in exchange for your pawn. And black is stuck guarding the knight in this position. That's something that our audience might wonder, why is it okay for it to do it in this position?
It's supposed to be queen d7, knight d2, e6, knight f3. They take here, take back, bishop d6, takes. You can take now, actually, and then castles king side. And you have this position where we're actually going this way with some pressure. The knight actually comes around to g4. You play e5 sometimes in some cases, and you get some initiative on the side of board. You actually sometimes go knight d7. But I've seen this in, I think, Erwin, you know, Mr. Chessable. I know I have like every Chessable course. I actually read the books, but Erwin
Lamy.
Exactly. Elami has some nice files with this one. Obviously, you don't have to play it this way. There's many ways to play the exchange variation, but they went queen b3, and e6 is just a blunder because queen takes b7. You just take it. The knight is hanging. You can't go rook b8, which means you have to go rook c8, and you just down a pawn for nothing here. Not the same type of compensation you would get in the other lines we showed. Bishop b5 is answered with queen d7. So you just have a pawn, and white's just going to milk the position there. But the bluff was not called e6, and he's like, you know what? I'm not going to take it. Develops knight d2, and then it was defended. So black got away with one in this one.
Yeah, and I don't want to suggest that Vihan didn't take because of any kind of ChessKid help or anything, but we do have a video on poisoned pawn, which kids like because the word poison is an exciting word. But there's also this thing in chess where you use the right pattern at the wrong time. Like you've seen the poisoned pawn and you convince yourself, oh, well, all B pawns are poisoned. Yeah. But it's very situationally specific, and that's what makes chess so interesting. Sometimes rules are either in conflict with each other or there are exceptions to the rules, and knowing which rule is more important or when you can violate a rule really is kind of the heart of chess, right?
That is the hard part. That is the hardest part of chess, is knowing when to break the rules. Of course, even at the top level, they like, you know, you'll see games. I forgot what game it was. Maybe it was a Fabiano MVL game where I think a knight moved like 11 times in the first 15 moves. So 4 moves were not knight moves, in fact. And it was very, very cool. But also, you know, you can't teach that to your students. Because they need to know when.
And in the opening game of the seminal work of Jonathan Rowson, you know, 7 Deadly Sins of Chess. He shows this game Rosenthalis Appel. And as an Alpin player, you know, Rosenthalis is like a god. Where Rosenthalis goes from a normal pawn structure and he double isolates every pawn he has on the board.
How do you do
because
that?
They can't be attacked and they create weaknesses.
That's really cool.
So yeah, it's a cool game, and go buy that book if it's still in print.
It's pretty awesome. And so far, so good. Rook A to E1. The natural ideas are knight to E5. I think white just has a more pleasant position in these type of games here. Never really liked these from black side. Of course, I'm a more aggressive player, and these positions just didn't suit my style. But I did like, you know, how solid they are for players that are looking for something more solid. Knight E5 is going to be white's main idea, trying to rook lift, right, and then try to go for some type of checkmate on this side of the board.
Do we have any K1 kids? Because they tend to finish a little bit earlier. And I think it's pretty cool if like a 5 or a 6-year-old.
We do. We got some K1s down here.
Let's go to 17 there. 17? Jake versus Drew. Because this is going to be the top game. I don't know if Jake or Drew is the top seed, but
how does Knight get here? Let's see what happens.
That's the fun of the K1.
E4, E5, Knight F3, Knight C6. We got an Italian game. B4. Oh man, these kids are on fire. Playing the Evans Gambit.
This is the Evans Gambit.
Bishop B6, C3. He says, all right, I'm not taking the Gambit. Then we have ourselves some type of just you know, what is the Italian game with early b4.
Yeah.
Castles.
And knight to g4 was too early because if you can answer knight g4 with castles, then it's not a great move.
Good. Yeah. Exactly. How did this knight get over here? Gotta see what happened here.
Yeah, this is like a retrograde analysis puzzle. How did it, okay? Let's pull the parents here.
All right.
We know a knight landed on a1.
How?
Who thinks it's the king side knight?
Who thinks it's this knight?
Who thinks
this
it's the
one
queen
or
side
the queen side knight?
Okay.
Which one?
Probably is the queen side knight.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Well, we're gonna. I don't know how.
We're about to see right now.
Okay.
Queen g5 takes. Bishop e6. We traded him. h3. Whoa.
Oh wait. No, it's still going to be the queen side.
He didn't take it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so two minor pieces. Whoa, it could be a reason. Rook f8's a thing.
That is actually
and you can't guard. So
you
knight
have
f2.
To go d4 though.
Yeah, but knight f2, that makes knight f2 a great move.
Dang. Yeah. And then d4. That's the only move. But oof, man, this is spicy. I mean, you know, there's like take and then take, but then in between check. Like, what is going on here?
Well, in between check.
In between check.
That's what we call a double KO in Mortal Kombat.
Double KO. Let me see.
That is actually a funny rules question that all kids do need answered once.
Right.
If my opponent checks my king, can I ignore it and check
their king?
It's actually like a logical question.
Probably chess 2 when it comes out. Like chess
2.0.
Yeah, chess 2.0. That'd probably be a thing.
It does mean they've played Mortal Kombat.
Whoa, knight d4. These kids are on fire.
Okay.
Does he believe it or not? Do you think he took it?
That's too deep for me. Oh, well, so this so we've actually isolated that. Why actually, you know what? We said that rook takes f2 wasn't a good move. But white should take here, give the a1 rook, and get another minor piece. Let's see, did white take?
Took the rook.
Oh,
knight b3.
Okay.
Dang.
You're still going to get 2 minors, but it's so much harder to trap that knight.
Right. And what he chose was move the rook away. And
you should just take the
that's how he got it. Yeah, he should just take the knight.
Yeah, he should give the other rook.
Yeah, this rook should give the other one up. But okay, the rook, boom. And now this knight is trapped in here. Bishop to b2 is going to grab it. Bishop b2 happened. And king h8, and he should just take this. And white's up a piece out of all of that. But of course, down, you know, maybe the exchange. But up a piece, I would definitely take white. Very cool game. Very spicy game.
Yeah, it is 2 minors for the rook once the knight's gone. But black is going to control that f file.
Yes.
And there's very realistic possibilities if the rooks invade in any way. So white has to find some careful moves after taking the knight to make sure that the rook does not get to the first rank or the second rank or somewhere. So actually, how does that happen? Let's take the knight.
Okay.
Let's put the rook on f8. We know rook f1's an issue.
Right.
Do you have to play rook e1 here?
You might have to go knight. Well, you could go knight d2.
Knight e2 is a better move.
Knight d2, and then rook f2 takes knight f3. Yeah. I mean, I have the minors. E6 is weak too, so
yeah. Okay, you've convinced me. Yeah, as long as the rook can't get to f1, white should be better. Yeah. Okay. How about the other k1?
Yeah, let's go to the other k1 game.
They tend to finish real quickly.
They do. Those kids are ready. Okay, here we go. And this one is, I have it on play. Okay. So wow, live position in game. Says white is completely winning. Does he have a pawn or something? 3-6.
Yeah, but the knight on f6 has no useful squares.
Oh, it's pretty gross. That makes sense. Wow, the knight can't go anywhere but e8, and that is not even a move. I mean, okay, it is. You can go around this way. It's gonna take a while though. And white has the better piece, the better minor piece. We are gonna try to go to the 7th rank. Rook d6 is already forking. Let's try to see how did we get here actually.
Okay.
Before c5, we have a Sicilian.
Okay. White forgot that c3 was winning. But
correct. C3 is winning by force. G6, d4 takes. And we have an accelerated dragon, one of my favorites. I actually have a lot of YouTube videos on this one. Bishop c4, castles, bishop b3. a6 is sort of a dragon Dorth where you play a6, d6, g6, but this a6 move is just not the greatest. Maybe looking for b5, queen d2, b5. There we go. Takes. Rook d1, takes. We have a trade, and a5. I like black here. Engine does too. a3. Bishop d7, didn't like it too much, understandable. Knight g4, black played a great game. Something just happened somewhere.
Yeah.
Black played a great game. Damaging the structure. Pieces are active, but this bishop is a monster, as we see here.
Yeah, I would have been careful. This is another one of those times, I just said it before, the rules are in conflict with each other.
Yeah.
The bishop on g7 is a great piece. Do you give away a great piece and lose the bishop here to wreck the pawn structure?
Not a fan.
I will say this, I have no, this might be self-serving because we kind of know white gets better position, but the stronger the player, you tell me if you agree, the stronger the player, the more willing they are to injure their own pawn structure for the bishop here.
Oh, 100%. In fact, understanding that most positions closed will open up. Almost, let me say 90% plus of positions that are closed will open up at some point via pawn breaks, meaning like a B4 is a pawn break, or even a A4, H5. I mean, these are pawn breaks where you're breaking up something. These are going to happen. Exchanges of pieces are going to happen, which is going to open the game. What's going to happen when you open the game? The bishops become much stronger. So giving up one just to demonstrate the structure, okay, it's a temporary thing, or maybe not. In fact, that could be a whole game thing. But the bishops are very, very strong. So having that bishop pair is very important, especially at the higher level. We value the bishops a lot.
I think for kids, doubled pawns are so visual.
Oh,
they can see them. It's almost like a tactile thing.
Right. He's losing double pawns.
But yeah, to explain why the bishops will be powerful in 5 moves is hard. Right?
Yes.
I imagine for a lot of parents, it's a little bit like, the immediacy of like skipping out on your homework to do fun versus the long term of trying to get to a good college. Like it's a little bit easier to see the here and now.
And that's what the here and now here. He made a decision. Oh, the double pawns are great, but you did give up the piece that guards the king. Also very, very strong. Now you don't have both color complexes like white has, where I can hit the dark squares and the light squares. As we fast forward here, E5 didn't like that from the engine. Maybe H3 immediately. F3, same.
Also, the interesting thing is, even though the F2 pawn was guarded by the dark squared bishop, if it ever gets captured, rook F1 becomes a thing. And when you put your pawn on E5, you can no longer go back to E6 to block the diagonal. Even though the rules of chess say don't block your own bishop, by playing E6, then the white's light squared bishop is biting on rock for a long time. I'm not saying you have to play E6 right now, but to have that as an option seems useful to me. It also does guard the pawn, by the way. You do need to guard the pawn by some measure.
It does guard the pawn, and it's kind of hard because you have to make these decisions in chess where, this is a great move when it comes to defense, but look at this bishop. I mean, this is what we call a tall pawn, or I mean, this looks like the same position. If I just grab it and take it off the board, it looks kind of the same because this bishop is literally doing nothing. And how are you going to get it out? This bishop is an anchor. I mean, I don't know how you're ever going to get this bishop out. Maybe B4, try to go this route, but here you're hitting air. So there's nothing to do. Pretty bad, a pretty hard decision to make there, or the contrary, E5. But then, where are you going? Bishop E6, double pawns. I mean,
that's what I mean. E5 does not acquire a new square for the bishop. And the funny thing is, if you play E6, I could see white trying to free his own bishop by playing C4, but then if you wait for the pawns to trade, then your bishop acquires the C6 square, whereas white's bishop didn't actually acquire any new squares.
Nice.
So neither bishop is very happy, but it's it's the battle of who could care less. That's a Ben Folds song. You get that reference?
No,
that's from the late 90s. You were 5 years old.
I was definitely.
I have a parent. And I went to school in Chapel Hill, and it's a thing, and we're in North Carolina. You just gotta nod your head sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Oh man, I know that one. So is that, in fact, what happened was, I think C4 actually happened in the game. C4 did happen. There was a capture, and then bishop takes, and then A4.
Now the bishops are just monsters.
Yeah, exactly. These bishops are absolute monsters, brother.
But see, now we have the worst case scenario. Black's bishop is still not doing much, whereas white's bishop is very much alive, aiming at F7.
Both of them.
Given the two choices, I would have taken the first one.
Absolutely. And after this G4 move, G5 is going to gain some space. I mean, it's just a positional grind here for white. And then he plays bishop E6, which allows the damage of the structure here. White doesn't even have the double pawns anymore, and that what black is definitely regretting. Giving up that dark square bishop, rook E1, rook A5, bishop B4.
I appreciate active defense rather than passive. That's usually the way to go in kids' chess, or even in our chess.
In our chess, active defense. Yeah, this is over here. These pawns are hanging. It's really rough. Black has no squares. Rook C8 takes C5 first. Oh my goodness, just gobbling all the pawns. I may not have any pawns left by this game before this game's over.
I gotta say, this is still the K1, right?
This K1 feels stronger.
Pretty mature game by Alex Sedlock here. Yeah, we've got some videos on bishop versus knight, and that imbalance happens a lot in endgames. So here, the bishop's clearly better. The pawns are on both sides of the board. The knight has no useful squares. The bishop is being complementary to his pawns. That's complementary with an E for those of you scoring at home. Because they're on different colors, so they work well together. Do you want to go back to the K8 maybe?
Yeah, let's see what we have. Let's go back and we can go up to the top.
I've got a queue of kids lining up to play me right now in the bookstore.
Really?
Well, I don't know. I'm just imagining. But I have to get there in about 10 minutes to do a live Beat FunMasterMike session. We're not going to stream that because we're streaming this awesome event. This is the ChessKid National
Festival. Those kids are going to try to crush you. You know that, Mike.
They are going to.
I played like 50 games yesterday, Mike.
How long did that take you, by the way?
Hour and 45.
I heard you were nice and gave some time odds.
I did.
Okay.
I did 3 to 1 and then 2 to 45 seconds. It was nice. It was fun.
Anybody get a game off you?
No. In fact, I was not nice to them.
Must be nice to
But-
be in your 30s still.
It was nice
You're-
hanging out with
you're
the
low
fast
30s,
kids.
okay.
Yeah. The kids were fast too. Very fast. So we have some. This is what happened here.
You were
Mike?
born in 92?
92. Turned 32 this year.
You want me to
Yes.
tell you a joke that everybody loves?
Yeah.
Whenever I go to vote, usually the volunteers are usually, retirees and
Okay.
stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
I always walk in and they're like, happy to see you. It's usually quite empty.
Yeah.
like, And I just look at them. I'm like, I'm just here to vote for Jimmy Carter. They love that joke.
They love that one.
You know who that guy is?
Yes, it's
Okay.
one of the presidents.
Okay. All right, let's get back to chess.
Well, what happened was, in fact, the last few moves. So we had knight c4. We saw that. Rook e8 defends, overprotects the pawn, as we talked about. Rook e1, not actually threatening to capture yet. f6, okay. I mean, defends it. Yeah, like,
but there's a
yeah,
diagonal and
you know,
C3 and Queen B3 is
not the
jumping that
greatest,
page. Yeah, okay.
but okay, h4 with the idea of h5.
Yeah.
Knight b6, knight d2. Oh, and this is how we got the pawn structure. He
the
made a decision
pawn.
to take with the pawn here.
Okay.
Takes and then knight e7. So I think black's fine. It's a level game. b3 with the idea of fianchettoing the bishop or playing bishop a3. And here we are in the live position, actually, after b3.
Don't love taking with the pawn.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Because I don't see how you're ever going to trade your doubled pawns here. Sometimes you can do this structure if black has a pawn on d6 or something, and you have reasonable chances of trading it off. But I don't know what white gained other than a tempo. If you take with the knight, you still have this diagonal you can work with. You don't wreck your pawn structure. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's different. I think he is more transposed into some type of Catalan where you do have the Catalan pressure here. Black can go maybe rook to b8 to get out of this pressure. Yes, this is only kind of temporary because rook b8 is just going to help me get out. White, on the other hand, this knight is misplaced on d2. We also moved it twice from f3 to d2.
Yeah.
And what is Capablanca in Chess Fundamentals says you should refrain from moving a piece multiple times in the opening. So after knight f3, knight to d2, kind of misplaces the knight. We have to move it again to get it active. Knights are slow pieces too as well. So we need to be very, very cautious of our knight moves. So knight f3, great square, then over to d2, not so great square. Now we have nowhere to go here. Knight e4 isn't the greatest because it can be kicked and it's not really doing much, but of course, bishop to b2. I think black is more leveled out here, not really much to worry about at all, but of course, there's still a lot of game left. Bishop b2 is going to stop at f5 push to release the bishop. So, it's double-edged. Black's going to have to come up with plans, white as well.
And the knight could go around the world to get to d5 through e4, c3, and then d5. But black can just play c6 very calmly, stop the knight and stop the light squared bishop
at the same
in just
time.
one simple move. So
very nice.
Now c6 is also the square that black's knight wants to move to, but given the fact that it deadens a couple of white pieces, I think c6 is what I'd play for here.
I like the same. c6 is a very solid move. It stops, or it says bishops biting on granite is what they say in the chess books. And then also the square that d5 would be really nice for a knight to get to, where you can't get there now anymore. Also, d4 for black. Would love to get a knight there, but the same idea, c3 kicking it away. So with this being so symmetrical, not symmetrical, but same ideas type of pawn structure, this is more draw-ish than anything else. Obviously, there's lots of pieces on the board. There's so many things that can happen. But right now, it's a very, very level, equal position. To b3.
Okay. Well, I do like the creativity. There's not many, I think Andrew is knocking on the door of master, and we're actually using their ratings from the last supplement. So I didn't check. Maybe Andrew's already made master. Certainly it's going to happen one day. But the creativity just to think about taking with the c pawn. I'm not sure it's the right time, but also, h4 was played. That I think is a modern concept. Kids have seen that, computers have shown that you can push your G and your H pawns a lot more commonly than when we were kids. We were
you're
told
right.
not to do
In
that.
fact, all the boards that I've signed, I always sign the G4 square because I just love putting a pawn on G4.
That's your go-to?
It's the go-to aggressiveness.
Okay.
It's a very aggressive pawn structure. Putting a pawn on G4 at any moment with the white pieces is very scary for your opponent because you have H4, H5, G5, everything 5, and it just gets scary on this side of the board. So I am a fan, especially with the neural network engines that have showed us that pushing the H pawn in these type of structures with usually bishops on G7 or G2 are some of the strongest plans you can do. Knight to F5 with maybe an idea of knight D4, maybe an idea of knight to D6.
I sign F7, F for FunMaster. You have an unfortunate circumstance. You're James Canty the third.
That's right.
So C3, but it's a dark square. And unless you have one of those metallic colored Sharpies,
Canty the third. Yeah, that would be right here. But yeah, it's kind of hard to sign that square.
Yeah, it is.
Unless you have metallic silver stuff. All right, let's move around. Let's see what we got. Board 2. Anything happen here? This is yes, it's still the same
That
level.
typical annoying knight that if you ever take, you rip open the F file for white to attack, but if you don't take, you got to live with it.
Yeah, we gotta, you know.
I equate
Yeah.
knights like this to like your little brother or sister in your room.
Oh man,
Like just bothering
like,
you.
I have
Just
to
the
keep you
fact
here.
that they're there is just not fun.
Get out of here.
And black has been playing G6, so there's all these sacrifices you have to think about as well.
Exactly.
One day.
At some point, these sacrifices could very well work. And now let's move over to the third here.
Okay.
Right?
This might be my
What
last
is this?
game, and then we can see
Okay.
if you're going to run solo, or maybe we can recruit some kids to join
Hey,
you.
yeah, we get some kids here to see what happens. So E4, C5, knight of 3, D6. Oh, do we have a knight orf? Oh, knight orf. Man, I didn't start playing this until like years ago. In fact, knight orf Sicilian is a very advanced opening. H3 line is kind of annoying. In fact, even Geary in his chessable course on part 3 of his chessable course, E4 is the name of it, part 1, 2, and 3. G4 is his idea with the early H3 here. Usually you can go rook G1 with G4, but this H3 is, it doesn't look aggressive, but it actually is trying to play G4. Okay. E5, knight goes to E2, and then H5. Geary actually gives knight f3 in his course. Bishop to G5 after the H5 push was to stop G4. So black was aware of the G4 push. Bishop E7, we have a capture just to get the D5 square, which we take, and we reinforce to put another knight there. Bullying the D5 square. H4, that's a pawn sacrifice? What if he just takes this? Oh, he's going to take and play knight C7. Look at the tactics there. So bishop H6, A4, B6, bishop to C4, really bullying the diagonal and the D5 square. Bishop B7, queen E2, knight C5. Not really pressuring this, but putting a knight on a better square. Is this a mouse? Is this a mouse slip?
No, I think
it feels like
I
a
think
mouse
he's going to
slip.
play rook H3 over to G3
Boom.
if the king castles, or really over to any useful square.
Yeah, he didn't want to castle because of H4 hanging, I guess.
Yeah. So rook up and over. You don't see it that often, but I think that's what white has in mind.
OTB slip there. In fact, a slip over the board is what that is. And then we have G6, and so far so good. This is the live position. Rook H3 would be nice, but this pawn is the weakness. This is the weakness, especially after you get knight C7 under control here. You're going to start looking at capturing this pawn. So it is something for white to really actually figure out here. After bishop H6, this is the live position.
Could white go crazy and play G4? I don't think so. It's not in my wheelhouse. I mean,
G4 is my favorite square. So, Mike, we're playing G4 here.
Okay.
We're not even looking at another move. G4
is the delayed
is the delayed. Yeah, G4 is a really nice move. I'm a fan of it. It attacks H5. Engine says, "Oh, what are you doing?" And then it recalibrates and says, "Oh, yeah, you're right. It is a good move."
Well, you should put your rook on D1 before doing anything.
Yeah,
I think you should. Yeah,
that actually is a good.
You know, I told you, I think yesterday when we streamed together that when you give funny names to things, kids like it better. And I did an actual one of our lessons on ChessKid in the Super King levels. I wanted to show positions where white played G4 unexpectedly. Sometimes when you're castled and just, you know, whereas most kids would be like, you can't weaken your king, right? But I had to think of a funny name, so I called it the spike.
Really? Oh, I think we've seen that with some of the students.
Yeah, if you ever hear kids are like,
I've seen that.
Yeah, Coach Canty, I play the spike.
Someone told me that. I was like, oh, that must be something you learned from one of the videos.
They should say spike TM FunMasterMike.
Yeah.
But so yeah, this is maybe a spike. But I would just play rook D1 first and delay this major decision and you know, pressure the backward pawn.
Yeah, rook D1 looks nice. I like putting pressure on this too as well. I mean, this is a very weak pawn. Of course, you have this in Najdorf structures, the Scheveningen structures, and many Sicilians, Kalashnikovs to Sveshnikovs. All of these have this D6 weakness with the pawn, with the square in front of it on D5. So you can have lots of problems where this could be a weakness. But the problem with it, they say, I forgot what book this was, but this is one of the Sicilian books I read with Black. It was saying that this, yes, okay, it's weak, but you can't do both, meaning you can't have the D5 square and pressure the D6 pawn. So you have to pick one, which right now we're doing the D5 square. Yes, this is weak, but you can't get to it without moving the knight, but then you don't have the D5 square. So it's like you have to pick one in a way. But I would still take white. I like pressuring the D6 pawn. I also like the G4 push as well. I just got to figure out what to do with this rook at some point.
Yeah. You know what's funny? You could play rook H3, rook F3, and induce black to castle because F7 is suddenly weak. Then maybe bring the rook back to G3 and threaten queen H5. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Right. I'm a fan of threats myself. I love making threats as many as I can. My favorite move, I think, though, is that G4 move. Rook D1 is nice, which can be played. I like G4 immediately. G4 is really strong to me because I'm threatening to take twice on H5. And if you take, okay, queen takes G4, maybe I play H5, and then I can really play Rook H3 to F3 as well.
Maybe it's just a positional problem where computer doesn't love it. Maybe after the trade, Black's knight like goes back to E6 and you've weakened F4 forever now or something. And
that is something.
You know, maybe it's like a deep thing that your pawn can't go back to G3.
That's true. Something the engine says in like 15 moves. Oh, this is why.
Apparently, 96 is not the retort, but anyway,
H5, but
yeah,
pretty good. Okay. Fresh.
All right. Well, I have to go put my hat in the ring.
Okay. Good luck over there with those kids. Good luck.
Appreciate that.
Because they be throwing pies in your face, trying to beat you, man. Dang, Mike.
Well,
man, we got to get human resources over here.
It's nothing like the chess boxing you told me you're warming up for. So that's a young man's game.
Ready for that.
But yeah, I'm going to go to the bookstore now. So if anybody happens to be watching from the playing site, parents watching on your phones or whatever, give me a chance to eat this granola bar.
Nice.
And then I will see you in the bookstore to play as many kids as I can in 1 hour.
Wish Mike a good time, and hopefully he has health insurance.
Yes.
As well. Okay.
I work for a good company. They take care of me. Dental too.
Dental too. Yeah, you're gonna need that. They're gonna be knocking your teeth out.
I think we're adding pet insurance soon. I'm talking about too much right now, but by demand. Also, for those of you watching on site, parents, Jennifer Shahadi's Girl Power event is coming up in a few months too.
It's gonna be cool.
So make sure you check that out, especially because everybody can be a part of that. I'm telling you, I'm not going to be able to play all the kids that want to play me. So. Do you want to go on a short break?
Yeah, we'll go take a short break.
Because then we come back, we can decide if you're going to be joined by a kid or go solo or whatever. Sweet. So we'll come back with round 3's conclusion of the ChessKid National Festival live from Charlotte, North Carolina. We got the road to GM himself, James Canty, the third future Charlottean. He'll be back with you. I will not.
See you later.
Don't go anywhere.
And we are back at the ChessKid National Festival. We have round 3. Of course, you have myself here with
Wyatt.
Wyatt. Wyatt, what's your last name, Wyatt?
Flood.
Wyatt Flood here, of course. So he's here at the ChessKid Festival as well, played in some events. We actually played yesterday in the Blitz event as well. So tell us a little bit about how you feel about the tournament, the experience. Did you play today and things like that?
Well, I'm doing so-so in the tournament.
Okay.
I am 1.5 out of 3 points.
Okay, it's 50%.
Yes, I drew a game, lost a game, and then won a game.
Mm-hmm.
I am in, my rating is 700,
Okay.
so I'm in the K through 5th, U1200.
Nice.
group.
K through 5, U12, okay. Experience so far. How you liking it here? What's your favorite thing you've done?
Favorite thing? Probably the main tournament.
Okay, the main tournament. What makes it so fun for you? Or why is that your favorite part?
Playing chess.
You're just
Actually,
playing chess.
the Blitz Championship.
The Blitz Championship. How'd you
Yes.
do in the Blitz?
5 out of 10.
5 out of 10, 50%. Yeah, they always say 50% and above is what you want to shoot for. So if you're 50%, that's a good thing. And above, that's even better, right? So you get 50% in the Blitz, you're doing 50% in the main tournament. It's pretty good. Did you play already today?
I did.
Okay.
And I won my game today.
Nice. You won today. Look at that. We got the winner here today. How'd you win your game? Take us through what happened. Were you white? Were you black?
I was white.
What opening did you play?
It was, wait.
Did you play E4, which king pawn, or D4? Queen's pawn.
I played E4.
E4. What did they play? Did they respond with E5, E6,
It turned,
knight
well,
F6, C5?
it was, it turned into the Guccio piano.
Oh, the Gucci piano, aka Joko piano, if you guys don't know, but it's Gucci piano too as well. It's a cooler way to say it. So E4, E5, knight F3, knight C6, and bishop comes out to C4, C3, bishop C5, stuff like that. So pretty cool opening. Did you checkmate?
I did.
Nice. Checkmate on board is some of the great ways to do it. Tell us about your favorite event outside of the chess, the big event. Was it Blitz? The water? Did you do the water guns with Levy?
I did not.
You didn't. Okay. All right.
Then the Blitz.
Then the Blitz. Nice.
Yeah.
And the Blitz after that. Perfect. What was your favorite food while you were here so far?
Food? Five Guys.
Five Guys. Okay. Well, man, look at that. You're making us hungry here, man. What you get from Five Guys?
Burger and shake.
Burger and a shake, guys. That's what we having today, huh? Burgers and shakes at home, guys. You heard it here from Wyatt first. Awesome. Perfect. Who's the highest rated player that you play?
In the main tournament, I played a 1,000 rated player, and that's the game I lost.
Okay.
But in the Blitz Championship, I'd play a 1,900 rated player.
Wow.
I lost both games against.
That's okay. You got to get that experience, right? They say losing is learning. So if you learn from it, then okay, it's a loss on paper, but you learn from it. So you won't lose that way again. And hopefully you're better in the next thing. So let's talk about some of these games while we're here. In fact, we'll take a look at top game with Andrew here. What do you think is going on, Andrew?
Ooh. Well, so the rooks are both very good.
Okay.
Those two rooks are having a staring game for which one will take first.
That's right. Should you capture first, or what do you think about that?
I think you should probably hold it, because if you capture, then your opponent has the open file.
That is correct. So if rook takes, it's black to move. If rook takes, then rook takes. We give them the open file, which we don't just want to be giving up like that. Cool. So we're going to get some predictions for you, and then we'll let you go. What do you think is going to happen in this game? Win for white, win for black, or a draw? Based on what you see.
Based on what I see, black does look a little better. It could also draw. Okay. But based on the players, I think that white might win.
Okay, based on the players.
Yes,
okay.
Because Andrew Wu as white is 2,100 rated.
Okay.
Right now.
And who is Musa? Do you know the rating?
I do not. I'm pretty sure it's like 2,000 now.
Playing pretty good. Bishop FA happen here. It's a level game. All right, let's take a look at a few more games. We'll take a look at some K8s. And what's going on in this game? What is your prediction? White to win, black to win?
I definitely think white will probably win unless he or she makes a mistake, because the king is very open. And it looks like there could be some kind of attack going here.
Right.
With like queen g3, and then you move your rook up to f3 and get some kind of attack going
It's
there.
going for mate. All right, I
Yes.
agree with you there. I think white has a very good initiative, which is equal to time and activity. They play G4. Whoa.
G4.
Was not expecting that one. I actually liked your idea of Queen G3
Yeah,
over to H4.
That's a move
Rook
that you would
F3.
play.
Yeah, G4 exactly. My favorite square is G4, 100%. All right, let's move around here. We'll take a look at this one and one more, and then we'll let you go. You can sign off and say anything that you would like to say to the audience. Knight E6 did happen. Wait, is this the right? Let me refresh because I know we were playing around with this. Me and FunMasterMike. Yeah, that's the right move. Okay, so what do you think? White to win, black to win, maybe a draw.
Right now, this position does look pretty drawn.
Okay.
The engine does think white's a little better,
Mm-hmm.
but I bet that's just some kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's always good to know. Actually, one thing about the engine is even before you make a move, they already have it at like 0.3 for white. So it usually around 0.5 is still equalish. So which could be drawish, but of course it does depend on what you see here. So you got three options: win for white, win for black, or draw.
I'm gonna say unless either person blunders, it should be a draw.
Okay, draw for that one, and then let's look at this last game here, and then we can sign off with you, and then let us know what you're thinking. Well, this one, you know what? Maybe this is, white's just up a whole piece, so that one's done for. What about this one?
That one? The pawn structure for white is not quite as good as the pawn structure for black. I love black's pawns right now.
Yep.
But then white's pieces are a lot more active. Like that light squared bishop is in jail right now.
Right.
Unless they move to c6, then e8, and then push the f pawn and then get it out.
Only way.
And that takes like
a bunch of moves, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So you're taking white here.
I think I am.
All right, awesome. So we got your predictions. We'll see what happens in those as we'll come back to it. So is there anything you'd like to say or anything you'd like to promote or any inspiration you'd like to give to the audience before we let you go?
I'd like to promote my YouTube channel.
Okay.
Chess
YouTube channel.
Chess YouTube channel.
What is it?
I do puzzles mostly. Just like made into puzzles, and it's all YouTube shorts usually.
Oh, same. I like a lot of shorts, but what's the name of it?
It's called Flood Zone Chess.
Flood, is this 1D or is it FOO?
It's FLOOD.
Flood.
And then Zone Chess.
Flood Zone Chess. Okay. It also says promote your merch, kids. Says Cayudo in chat. Nice. Yeah, he does have on a nice shirt there, a chess shirt, and you can find him at Flood Mate. Flood what?
Flood Zone Chess.
Flood
This
Zone.
is not actually my merch.
Yeah, it's a different story. Okay. Flood Zone Chess there on YouTube. Give the guy a subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. Click the button. Right, easy, free. So awesome, man. Good to have you, Wyatt. Well, congratulations on your 50% so far, and good luck in the rest of the tournament.
All right, thank you.
No problem. Cool, guys. So that is Wyatt. We had Wyatt with us as we are back, and we are doing our thing. So we're gonna take a look, see what's going on in each and every game. Let's see what we have. Okay, so in this Andrew game, king goes over to f7. It's quite level. Engine likes black slightly, and I think I understand. I mean, pieces are all the same. There's a pawn in the center. White doesn't. Really, black just has a good structure. Everything is good for black. The pawn structure, good, intact, nothing broken. Pieces are exactly the same. Like I have a bishop, you have a bishop. I have a bishop, I got another bishop. You got a rook, I got a rook. There stands off of the rooks. The king is better placed than this king. Only difference really is the pawn structure here, where black is actually just playing a really, really good, solid game. So let's take a look at the next one. After king h7, wow, so it was g4 and then king h7 was next. Okay, all right. Let's just take a look at a few more games. Rook h3, h3, rook f3 is a thing. It's interesting. We play rook h3 here. Question mark from the engine. What did they actually want? I'm very curious. They wanted queen f3 or knight e3. That's a hard move to make. Knight b4, no one is playing knight b4. No one is doing it. But rook h3 is quite the move, definitely. Question mark. G4 is coming, etc. Things like that. Things like that. Okay. Let's go back to this game. Let's see what else we have. Vihan. Oh yeah, this he's just up a piece. How did he win this piece? Just curious. Was this the Carol Khan game? It was. Carol Khan exchange, the one where he blundered. And then takes, castles, rookie 1. He went 95. Take, queen b4. Oh, he just dropped a piece. Yeah, he just dropped a piece. Rook takes e5. Brilliant move. 2 exclamation points. And boom. And now he's just up a piece. And this game is going to end quite soon. At the lower boards here, in fact, in the K1s, 2, 3s, we already have some results. So let's see what happened. Alex beats Hawin here in not an in-game, but up some material. The last few moves were after rook takes. Oh, this could have been a draw. That kind of hurts. Takes, yeah, takes. Yikes. That is just not a move there. As it takes, we'll take that one, and that is a resignation. Alex picks that one up. We have Jake versus Drew here at the bottom as well. Jake is going, it looks like going to lose this one. Drew is going to queen, and that one could be over very soon. Kimberly here versus Jonah. Jonah with a win, a checkmate on the board. Let's take a look at what happened. We had a Gucci piano, aka Joko pianos. We talked about this before. Bishop g5, bishop takes f6. That is a question mark. Why? Because we want to increase the pressure, as ChessKid says, put pressure on the pin piece. So how do we do that? Is by knight to d5. This would put pressure on the pin piece. Bishop takes f6, releases the pressure on the pin piece. Now you have pressure on your pin piece, which is the problem now. So h3, bishop e6. In fact, bishop h5 probably was better. Knight d4 takes, quite equal. Knight d5, very equal position. Very equal. Oh, yikes. And how much time was used here? So one thing to notice is the time on the side. If you can notice here, these are younger players as well, but they did not use a lot of time. So one thing to pay attention to is your time. You have 60 minutes in these games. So you do want to actually use some of your time. And this move, f4, took about a minute. And this was a blunder here because you want to be asking yourself, what is my opponent going to do next? And after the a4 move, white completely lost the bishop. e5 was played within about 12 seconds or so. So really just a blitz game over the board. So you do want to use your time, and now black is just winning this game, up some material, up a piece. And let's finish this game out. Let's see what happened. Check, trying to fight. But unfortunate, futile efforts. Oh, that one hurts. After rook c3, check, take the rook, and the rest was easy. Yeah, check, and checkmate. Great game from Jonah. Let's move around. So here's another one here. Theo beats Armand. Where was that? Oh, man, look at that checkmate. Let's take a look at how this happened. E4, E5. Natural stuff. Knight of 3. Okay, knight C6, bishop C4. What a recovery from black, says C Money in chat. What's up, Jedi C Money? Knight of 6, castle, bishop C5, D3. D6, bishop G5. Is this the same? It feels like the same game, but it's not. Okay, so bishop G4, H3, and H6. What a move. I could probably take, but then they could take. Oh, that's just a piece. Wait, what game is this? Theo. I thought Theo won this game. Down a piece, guys. So this is good to understand that you always play on. You always try to play and find the best moves and create problems for your opponent. Black is clearly down material here. 100% down a piece. At the higher levels, this is resignable. But you always never give up. And in this position, in this game, black was able to win this game down a piece. So let's see what happens. H5, trying to open the file with a smile, as we say here. This is going to really, really cause some problems if we allow the file to open. Best move should be G5 to not allow that. G5 was played. Queen G6, knight C3, H4, and H3, and black is going to open up shop. Look at how black just did not care about anything. Take the material if you like. I'm going to mate the king. Knight check, king moves, takes the rook, and that immediately goes to -7 and went from plus, wow, that's crazy. It went from +7 to -7 in literally one move, guys. Look at the eval bar getting a workout there, up and down. As knight takes rook, is game over. Right before, white is completely crushing. But you couldn't take the rook, and it's hard sometimes taking material, especially when it's free. But your king has to be safe. Let's see what happens. Takes on G2, king takes, and then queen comes over to H5. Black is in a lot of trouble here. You have to defend against queen h3 and then queen h1 checkmate. If you go rook h1, there's queen g4, and I'll actually show this on the board here. Queen g4, king here, rook takes, and this is resignable. Takes, 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 takes. Yikes. And then takes, and then knight d4 check, and this is pretty nasty. Pretty nasty out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. If you don't defend against queen h3, that's, well, let's say knight g1, which is trying to defend against queen h3. I actually don't see the clear win yet. Oh, is queen h1 doing it? Queen h1, king g3. Not enough. Queen h2, king f3, queen h5. Where is this checkmate? I'm actually curious. Queen takes g5, queen h2, queen f4, queen g4. No. What is this? Queen h1, king g3. This is like a puzzle rush, guys. Queen h2, king a3. Okay, I'm curious. So now I have to go to the engine because now I have to see what happens on knight g1. It's queen takes g5. Oh my goodness, that is what it is. And then knight d4 mate. Oof, that is some heat. Knight g1 was the only option I thought here. That was nice. That was nice. Queen h1, queen h4, queen f2 from Thanks Evolve in chat. Problem with that, buddy, is after queen check, and then here, what'd you say? Queen h4, and then queen f2. As soon as that happens, you see how that eval bar goes right up? They say you have lost your absolute mind. Thanks, Evolve. After we take the queen here, and that one's gonna hurt, buddy, after that one. So that one is not checkmate at all. You're going, that's gonna hurt. That one's gonna hurt on the way down. But actually, what you do here is after knight g1, we go queen here. And then, sorry, we can actually do, I wonder if this works too. It does, but it takes longer. It takes a little bit longer. Knight d4 check, right, okay. And then king here, and then like, I guess this is mate too. There's a lot of mates, a lot of mates. There's a lot of mates. Okay, perfect, perfect. Awesome. So, okay, so what happened? Knight takes, king takes, queen h5. Rook h1, check happened. This all happened in the game, it looks like. Rook takes, knight g1 happened, rook queen takes. They just started taking everything. Knight d4 check, check. Oh my goodness. Look at the accuracy. And that was mate. Oof, heat there. That game was over. But look how much time was used. If you think about it, this is a 60-minute game. 5-second increment. White finished with 57 minutes. So they only used 3 minutes for the entirety of the game. And the game was 22 moves. So you do want to use your time. It's important to understand that your time is just as important as using your pieces. If you don't have any time, then you can't make the right moves. So Theo won that one. We're just moving through to see what games are finished. What's going on here? Whoa, man. Juan versus Claire. Juan is really trying to open up shop here after this G6 move. Let's take a look at what happened. C4, E5. We have a reverse Sicilian is what they call this. So far, so good. Developing pieces, castles, bring a knight into the center. Knight E8. Take. F4. Bishop G4, Queen E1. Take. F5. Nice. And here comes G4 and G5. My favorite move on the board is G4 played. There it is from Juan Quinn. Good job. Takes. Rook D8. Bishop C3. Queen E8. G5 hits the knight. Yeah, this is very aggressive chess. And I have both the bishops as well. So knight D7. Queen F2. Bringing the queen over. G6 is coming next. At some point, boom, there it is. G6. The G6 move is quite strong, quite annoying. Black is going to have to deal with this G6 pawn push as we're just breaking up the structure here. Cool. This is the live position. So let's wait around. Let's actually look around some more. We have Dia versus Alex. This became a draw. Did they repeat moves or offer? Let's see. Okay, a London system. All right. Another London system. Queen b3, queen b6, takes on b8. a4, bishop b4, e3. Rook c1 probably, correct. Black's up a pawn. And Black's actually winning this game. Takes, rook a1, king d3. Moving around a little bit. Yeah, this just became a draw. And Black just didn't know how to convert it, which is easier said than done because it's an end game. These are the hardest parts of the game. I wonder if they just shuffled right here. Maybe it offered. Yeah, they kind of offered a draw, and a draw became out of that game. Advik versus Addison. Black is completely winning. Are you up anything? 3, 4, 5, 3, 6. Oh no, it's 3, 6 versus 3, 6. So same amount of pieces. How do we get to this position? E4, another Sicilian, very advanced for the kids here. Knight C3, playing some type of Grand Prix. Now it's a closed Sicilian after G3. Bishop G2, Bishop G7, D3, all classical stuff. Castles. A4, stopping the B5 push. That was an advanced move. D6, H3, stopping anything swinging or coming into G4. Knight comes around to E8, Bishop E3, with the D4 push. D4 being a thing. Knight D4, F4, F5. Bishop F2, E5. Okay, nice play from black. Nice play from black. White's pieces are kind of cramped. Queen E7, takes. Queen D2, yeah, a lot of queen moves happening. B3, 1, B5, take. Rook A1. A lot of shuffling from white, a lot of queen moves as well. Yeah, look at the pawn structure. Pawn structure is really nice for black. Knight C3 can be a thing. The bishop on the long diagonal, pretty nice for black. Knight A3, which actually blocks the rook's connection on the A file. Rook C1, Rook C8. Take. Rook E1, okay? Queen F6, and this is the live position. So let's see what's going on. Black to move or white to move? It's white to move after Queen F6. Yikes. I mean, look at white's pieces. The bishop on G1 is trapped in. The light square bishop is hitting what we call air. It's just nothing to hit on this diagonal at all. Strong diagonal, but it's not hitting anything. There's no targets on it. In the meantime, white's king feels a little bit looser than black's king. And black's pieces are nice. This knight is tying down the rook, to C2 as well. Not the easiest to play. Not the easiest to play. Queen F6, though. What board is this? This is Advik. Vincent and Nandith on board 11. Became a draw. Oh, he's down a piece. Whoa, must have been a blunder draw or something. Let's see. They blundered a draw, which is very possible. Have a Rui Lopez. This is sort of the Berlin stuff. Put you to sleep right here looking at these with the white or black pieces. The Berlin, very, very boring opening. G6, C4, D5, C5, Rook E8, Bishop G5, 94, take. F3 is winning a piece. That's exactly what happened. A piece is won, got a pawn back for it. Whoa, black's winning immediately? Let me spot the win. I actually don't see it. Queen takes B2. Oh my goodness. You just take the pawn. Yeah, what a blunder there. How much time? About a minute used. Yeah, that's the problem here. Kids just move fast, which happens. Even adults move fast in tournaments, but you do have to actually use your time. This one spent about a minute, and queen takes B2 is actually just winning, getting the material back and some. From there, queen B2 happened. Oh, that's how they got the draw. Knight A3, took the knight and played G4. Wow, what a game. That is the only way to try to really make a draw. Bishop E4 check, though, is going to try to postpone it. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, well, we still have time. Takes. Whoa, Bishop F7. Brilliant move, kids, with the brilliant moves today. And then Rook F1 check, draw. That's how it happens. Check, all the way through. And a draw, nice save. Alyssa versus Adia here as well. Looks like Alyssa is winning. I don't know if that's my student, Alyssa. I have to check. I wonder if that's my student. But Alyssa with the white pieces. She does play 4. Take. One a pawn. Get castle. D4 was nice. D4 was nice. Castles. Bishop G4, H3. Take. Got the pawn back. Thank you. We have 4. Take. E6. We take, and Bishop E3. Knight C4 hits the bishop. B3 is a blunder. Man, engine just crushes us. Oh, takes, and Bishop F6. That's going to lose material, guys. This is how it happens. Did it happen? It did not. So the winning move or concept was knight takes, and maybe, yeah, Bishop C3 or F6 was the better move. How do you defend against this? Well, you have to move the knight. When you move the knight, you lose the rook in the corner is the problem. So that didn't happen, though. And that did not happen. In fact, black just chose to go knight D6. Rook D1, Rook E1. Pawns are level and the same. So we'll see what happens. 92, C4, Bishop F4, King F1, Bishop G5, take. And now we have the imbalance. Bishop versus knight. It's still equal though, still very equal. Knight D4, we traded the rooks. Bishop F6 attacks the knight. You need to move the knight. Knight was moved away. Knight G1, now that one is going to really be devastating. Why? Usually knights are short range pieces. They are short range pieces. So you don't want to just, bounce them around too much. And especially don't want to move them backwards if you can, because moving them backwards makes them even a less of a piece actually to use. You can't use it and you're going to have to move it again. Rook D2 gives up the 7th rank. Rook E2 gets it back. Check. Do you want to draw? Says no. Rook D3. Knight moves back to F3, admitting that Knight G1 was a mistake. Now, we want our best defense is offense. So this would be nice, rook check, something like this, to come behind the pawns and try to actually take something. Rook C1, Bishop F6, King G1, Rook D8, Rook E1, and then we're just going to see what happens. So next 3 moves, we did get a rook down there to the 7th rank, 8th rank, I mean. Wow, this is a blunder? Man. How is that bad? Interesting. What was the move here? Apparently, that was just a very bad move. What was the move? Rook D1 check, King H2, Rook B1. Oh, you just go steal the pawn. I mean, I thought black would, it's a weird concept. Check. Now he's going around taking the pawns. Yeah, because, I get pawns too, says white. You take, I take. And here is the live position. Be very careful of not moving this knight because bishop E5 check is going to be knight. Game over. Very, very strong skewer there. Double attack, winning some material. Perfect. Oh, what happened? Rook takes C6. Okay, what board is this? Adia. Okay, on board 9, we have Ryan versus Junius. Let's see what happens. Ryan is up a piece, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what happened? We had a London system. This was the game we checked before. London system. Everything looked great out of the opening for both players. B6, castles. This is all standard stuff. And after the 95, I think you actually go queen C7 in some lines, but captures was bishop takes E5. D takes, knight D7, which attacks the E5 pawn. F4 defended it. C4, we saw this, bishop C2, and I think we left off here. B5 happened with the idea of going B4 or even A5 as well. So we have knight F3. Okay, developing some pieces. Hello, Professor Chess and chat. I see you. A5. So apparently, this is a blunder. Oh, Greek gift. Wait, but there's knight F8. Bishop H7, King H7, Knight G5. Always do these calculation exercises at home. Bishop takes H7, King takes Knight G5, check, King G8, Queen H5, King F8, Queen takes F7, King H8, and maybe Knight E6. Maybe you have a rook lift. But it's unclear. Oh, you just take on B7. You're winning. Wow. Let's see what happened. He went for it. He found it. Bishop takes H7. Knight takes Knight G5. This is called the Greek gift sacrifice. King G8. Queen H5 did happen. Knight F6. And I think you can lose even more material here. Queen F7. Queen B7. Now Knight F7. And the knight on F6 is hanging. And the knight on C6 is hanging. So this was the problem here. And white is just going to cruise to this one, it looks like. Queen takes E7. I wonder if you could have won more material. No, you have to take. And then you take the knight, and white is up a piece. Up a piece. White is in the driver's seat. A lot of work to be done still, but great job to Ryan for finding the Greek gift sacrifice. In the London system, very, very strong concept and a good task or a good thing to use. Good technique, the Greek gift. So takes, G5, takes, and yeah, white's just up a piece. White is just up a piece. Ryan's going to try to finish this one out right here after rook G6. There's a trap being set by Junius here, which is knight takes F4. So the best move should probably be rook G2 to stop this threat. For instance, if you're just careless, knight takes F4 with the idea of, wow, look at that. Bishop's hanging. And if rook takes, then rook takes back. Even rook takes G5 first with check. Then taking the rook is going to be very nice for black. So, yeah, great game from Ryan so far. Yeah, Greek gift sacrifice happens. It happened right here. This was the critical moment. And I think I talked about this with Mike, FunMasterMike as well. After what happened? What was the last move? After knight F3, Knight f8 probably should have been played, as we mentioned before. Knight on f8 defends against mate, or there is no mate. Of course, because when the knight gets here to f8, it defends very crucial squares around the king. You can also play knight g6 to block the bishop's diagonal. So that didn't happen. A5 happened instead, giving us that one tempo we need. Imagine if the knight's on f8, there is no Greek gift sacrifice, but because it's not there yet, we can sacrifice, and that didn't happen. That did happen. So great job. Let's move along. Let's see. That's board 9. Board 8 is Kishan versus Naitik. 20 minutes for both sides. Nice time usage. Sicilian. Oh, Rossalimo hate this from the black pieces. This is why I don't play Sicilian with knight c6 early like this anymore. Rossalimo is very annoying. Very good opening for white. Black has to have, you have to know what you're doing. You can get in trouble very fast. I used to play the g6 lines. Takes. Taking I didn't have the most problems with. It was more of the gambits that people would use that'd really be the worst. Rook e1, c3, d4, trade everything out. Thank you. Lots of good moves so far. Whoa, that had to be an, yeah. Murray probably was queen d2. Because queen d3 did not happen in the game. We're not doing that. Queen d3 just loses the queen immediately. I think it was a transmission error, meaning they probably moved it to queen d2, and it just kind of maybe not on the all the way the square, because black played d5 afterwards, which means that, yeah, the queen definitely wasn't hanging. Wow, yeah, this is a crazy game. We probably won't check this one out, guys. I don't know what is going on with this queen. Yeah, somehow the queen's just not there. So let's just go to another game. Not sure what's happening on that one, but let's go here. And let's see what happened. E4, D6. We have ourselves a perk, aka Pierce. Oh, this is a Philidor now. Bishop C4, castles. Queen E2. Knight G5. Oh, he sacrificed it, but I don't think it works, right? How does it work? Apparently, this is winning. Oh, you have Queen C4. Oh, yeah, he didn't see. Well, the idea here, guys, very cool idea. After castles, bishop takes. If rook takes, you have queen to C4. Very strong. It's hard to even defend this rook. The queen is kind of misplaced here. So king h8, but still allows a fork with 96. So 96, hitting the queen and the rook. Okay, so queen b6, we take the rook, take. And we just up an exchange. Just up an exchange. Works for us. Says white. Bishop g4, queen g3, stepping out of the way. And here is the live position. That's Alan. We have a result here with Nishita versus Dina. Nishita, whoa. Wait, who won? White won. Where? I mean, it was check. Oh, maybe they checkmated. Or checkmate. They are checkmating in one move. Queen f6, queen f8, queen b8 is not mate. In fact, don't do that one. But the ones are mate that are here and here. Queen f6 or queen f8 is checkmate. What was this game? Curious. Oh, this was the game. This was a scotch, by the way. Scotch opening, as they call it. H3, bishop e6, queen f3. Yes, this is all theory. All theory. Don't remember that move, but we take it. Check. Queen g3, threatening. Bishop takes h6 here. Stepping out of the way, immediately Engine says that's a blunder. Well, let's try to look and see why. C7 is hanging, but is there something better? C4 takes? How about takes queen f4? Yeah, no, I don't see it. So maybe let's get a little bit of Engine that'll help there. The move is, yeah, bishop takes c7. Okay, so it's a free pawn. Makes sense. Bishop takes c7, c3. Whoa, bishop g2, that is a blunder. The idea here was trying to overload the queen. Overloaded, meaning the queen defending this bishop and this bishop. How are you going to defend this pawn? Well, the king actually is a piece as well. So king takes g2, we're up a piece now. Check, I just go back home. And yeah, white's in the driver's seat. White is up a piece. Can you take the queen? Takes. Not necessary. So queen takes f4, queen b5, takes the rook. Yikes. King h2, rook g5. Check. Stepping out of the way. Check. And mate on the next move. Great job from Nishita there. Okay, last few. Still got some games finished. This is this round. Yeah, we have a lot of games finished here. A lot of games. That's Nishita Harith here versus Anthony. Don't remember seeing this. This was, it looks like a French. Oh, wait, this was a, Oh, almost a Jobava London. We got very excited. D4, knight f6, knight c3, the start of the Jobava London, my chess of course, right? And then e6. And then we thought we would see bishop f4, but actually give e4. They give e4 here, which transposes into a French defense. So after e4, there is bishop to b4, bishop b4, and then e5. E5, all theory so far. Bishop d2 takes, b6. Knight f3, bishop d3. There is almost a Greek gift, like we saw in the Ryan game. H4 is nice with bishop takes g5 and knight, bishop takes h7, followed by knight g5 and queen h5. Castles, d6, rook e1, d5, queen d2, h6. This is a good move here from white, is to just shuffle the queen to this side of the board. Nothing happening yet, but it's good to, shuffle the pieces and get pieces into play. Rook e3, that's what white's doing right now, is trying to get pieces into play. Bishop b5, take, queen e2. Yeah, this bishop is absolutely terrible on b7. It is just blocked by all the pawns. So the bishop's locked inside the pawn chain, not outside, which is ideal for you. Rook a1. What is this rook dance here? The rook went to e3. Like if we go back here, e3 for the rook. And then we move one rook to a1. And then we move the e rook back to e1. So a little rook dance there, but we need to have our pieces coordinated well enough for us to, create an attack. Something like queen f4, g4, move the knight, rook lift again, and then you should have some good chances for attacking. Bishop c6, rook b1, f6, okay, takes, and knight e5. I do like the knight versus bishop. This bishop can't swing around though, but I do like knight versus bishop. Rook c7, f3, h5, queen to c1, and here's the live position. Okay, we have a result on board 2. Which is this? This is board 5. Okay, well, it's like white's winning that one. Board 3. Board 2, though. We have a win already from Krishna. Oh, wait, was this the... No, I don't remember this game. Oh, it was this one. Wow. Okay. Krishna game on board 2 was a win after queen f3, bishop f5. Takes. We saw g4 happen to break open the king. King went to h7. There was a king h1. We just don't want to be on this file when the rook comes over here. Rook g8. Rook g1. Queen b6. g5. Yeah, this is getting tough. This is why g4 is one of my favorite moves to play with the white pieces, especially in Jobava Londons, when I'm able to play g4, play g5 quickly, even push the h-pawns, open up the file, and really go for mate. So queen takes b2. Knight takes f7. Takes. Whoa, stuff was just hanging. Was there just a resignation? He must have just resigned right here. G takes, and he just resigned. Bishop's hanging. There's also queen h5 to h6 coming next. Trade of rooks will be answered with, taking back with the rook. Great game from Krishna there, and we are back to board 1. Whoa, we are in an in-game with 3, 4, 5. Whose move is it? Black's move. Feels like black is going to, I don't know. Feels like black's going to lose a pawn. But I do have assets of my own. Like these are passed, or at least this one is. This one's weak, and these pawns are, kind of hard to push. These are 3 versus 4. Engine says it's quite equal, but I think it's harder to play as black. I think it is. I think it's a little bit harder to play as black. So this is where we are so far in the games with, how many games do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So about 10 games. 10 games left. IBS, hey man, what's up? I see you in chat. How are you? On Twitch? Perfect. So, all right, guys, we'd like to bring one of you guys on. Who would like to come up? Hey, all right, you can come on. All right, we're bringing some more kids up. We're bringing some of the kids here in the events, guys. So let's see what we got here. Who do we have? Tell us who you are.
I'm Patrick Vitale.
Patrick Vitale, welcome to the stream. And tell us about your experience here. Tell us how old you are, what section are you in, and how is your tournament going?
Well, I'm 10 years old.
Okay.
I'm in the K to 8 under 1500 section, and I'm 3-0 right now.
3-0, nice. Going good, under 1500. What's your rating so far?
My rating is 1200.
Okay, and who did you beat so far?
Well, this past round, I just beat the guy who was in 4th place.
Okay, what's his rating?
His rating was 1359, I think.
Perfect, sweet, good games. And what did you win with? Just tell us, actually, maybe not what did you win with, What are your favorite openings for white and blacks? What are you using for this tournament?
I like the Joko piano.
Okay.
Usually.
All right. I think earlier we had Wyatt on. He said he called it the Gucci piano. In fact, is what we hear from Hikaru Nakamura calls it that too as well. We all know Hikaru, so I think that's where he got it from. But Gucci piano, okay, nice with white and with black against E4 and D4.
Well, against E4, I play just E5 and just kind of match them.
Okay.
But with D4, I play the Slav.
The Slav, okay, that's very boring, but at the same time, it's a very, very solid and very good opening and hard to crack, actually. So you get very, very, very good games out of the Slav. So you have more of a standard repertoire, more of a solidity, more solid repertoire than others. Pretty good. What was your favorite experience here so far?
I really liked playing the Sima because I got to meet all the like really big chess players like you.
Okay,
and
nice.
FunMasterMike and all
Nice.
the. So it was really exciting.
That was your favorite part. Perfect, perfect. Oh, that's pretty good, man. What was your favorite food so far? Eating.
I had a really good dinner 2 days ago.
Oh, 2 days ago. So you didn't eat in the last 2 days, huh? That's what you're saying. No. What did you eat 2 days ago that was so good?
I had some Indian food. It was so good.
Okay,
It was like
I
a rice
understand.
bowl.
Oh yeah, the Indian food. Shout out to the Indian food. Yeah, it's some really good stuff there. Pretty awesome, man. That's good. That's good. Well, did you play in any other events like the Blitz or like anything else that they
Yeah, I
had
played
here?
in the Blitz.
How did you score in the Blitz?
I didn't do too well. I got 5 wins and 5 losses.
5 wins. I mean, it happens. That's actually 50%. What they say is you want to finish at 50% or higher. So you did do the 50%, which is awesome. So great job there. Is there anything that you would like to say to the audience about getting better at chess? Maybe some of your chess goals as well, and anything that you want to promote or say to the audience?
Well, I think you should study a lot of puzzles because
Okay.
I think puzzles really help.
What's your puzzle rating?
My puzzle rating is like 2,500.
25. Nice. Mine is at 3601. So I'm trying to get mine up to 37 and 4,000 one day. But you are correct about the puzzles. That is awesome. You want to keep grinding the puzzles. That helps a lot. Anything you want to say to the audience or anything that you would like to promote if you have a YouTube channel or something similar?
No, because I don't have a YouTube channel.
Okay.
I am thinking about maybe starting one.
Definitely. No, nothing wrong with that. You can definitely make your own content. People will follow. So, well, good luck to you in the next rounds. Thanks for hanging with us.
Thank you.
No problem. Anyone else? You can come up, talk to the camera, talk to the stream. What's up, man? Who do we have?
Ibrahim Nashad.
Ibrahim, how you say your last name?
Nashad.
Nashad, okay. All right, we have Ibrahim with us here. Tell us your age, what section are you in? How are you doing in the tournament?
14. I'm in the K through 8, and I have 2 points right now.
Okay, 2 points. What's your rating?
1,700.
Okay, 1,700. Nice. And tell us your experience so far here at the ChessKid National Festival. What did you really like, and what are you looking forward to?
I think I've liked so far the games. Yeah, games have been fun.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to the Bughouse tournament.
When is that?
That's tonight.
And it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. My brother's playing on board 1 right now.
Oh, your brother's playing.
Musa.
Okay. Musa. Yeah, he's losing here, but he played a very good game.
Yeah.
He's played a very good game. What are your favorite openings with white and black?
For white, I just play Roy Lopez.
Okay.
And as black, I play the French, which is I recognize it's really bad, but I play it anyways.
Yeah, it's a fighting opening. It's combative, believe it or not. Okay, what about against D4?
Knight f6, e6, and then I just no matter what, just knight f6, e6, and
then
sometimes depending on what they play, I'll probably play c5 next move, and then maybe transpose into a
Benoni or Benoni or something similar. Yeah. Nice, perfect. What was your favorite food while you were here?
The Bojangles downstairs.
Bojangles downstairs. Yes, we are in Charlotte, North Carolina, and Bojangles being a very topical spot, a very famous spot here where it's very, very, very good food. So Bojangles, that was really good. Awesome. Perfect. And anything you would like to say to the chat, or do you have a YouTube channel or anything that you'd like to say? Okay. Do you have any chess goals?
probably to hit 2,000 by the end of the year. That'd be nice.
Very doable. Very doable. You
Yeah.
just have to do some work and grind, and it'll happen for you, right? So perfect. Good to have you, and congratulations. And yeah, good luck in your next rounds. Anyone else coming up? Anybody else? You want to come up? You want to say hi? Hello, hello. What's up, Chess on Earth? I see you in chat. Cloud Minator. Hello, how are you? Who do we have?
Ben Amrani.
Denim Roney. Okay.
Ben Amrani.
Ben.
Yes.
Ben. What's up, Ben? Welcome to the stream. Tell us your age and what section are you in?
12.
Okay.
I am in the K8 championship.
Nice.
I have 2 points.
Okay.
Right now.
And your rating?
2046.
2046. Very nice. Okay. Pretty awesome. Tell us about, you said 2 out of 3 right now?
Yeah, 2 out of 3.
Do you have 2 draws or you have 1 loss?
2 wins and loss.
Okay. Who'd you lose to?
Him.
Oh, okay. Nice. Got some good players here. Awesome. So tell us your favorite openings, white and black.
Good for black. For black against E4, I play the Karo Khan.
Okay. And against D4?
Against D4, I just played D5.
Okay. Very solid repertoire. Very solid. And with white?
With white, I play D4.
Oh, yeah. Very solid.
And then against the King's Indian, I play F3, Samish.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's actually the most annoying, me being a King's Indian player for a long time.
Yeah, and against the Nimzo Indian, I play E3.
E3. Okay. So the more Rubinstein, very slow type of play.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Awesome. Favorite players? Do you have any favorite chess players that you aspire to be or that you've used to craft your style of play?
Not really. I mean,
okay.
Like,
you just like the game.
I just like seeing top players play.
Yeah, absolutely. It's how you get better. It's how you get better by looking at top player games and etc. There. Perfect. Any chess goals?
Yeah. My goal is to hit national master before 8th grade starts.
Okay.
So I'm pretty close.
Nice.
It's gonna start in like late August.
It's very doable.
Yeah,
very
I
doable.
can do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I'm going up pretty fast.
Yeah.
In August 2022, I was in 1100. So the last 4.5 years, I've gone up 900 points.
Yes, so. grinding, and taking classes or coaching, and also just putting in work. Also, the ChessKid lessons on the back end. If you guys aren't looking at those, the Super King levels are crazy, where some people don't even know how to spell prophylaxis, but they actually know how to do prophylaxis. So lots of things.
Wait.
Profil. PH, exactly. IS, correct. Prophylaxis, awesome. Well, last questions here. What was your favorite food while you were here?
This morning I went to the 7th Street Market.
Okay, what'd you get?
The waffles.
Nice.
It was really good.
That was your favorite food so far? Was the waffles, huh?
Yeah, it was really good.
Pretty good waffles. Well, thanks for being with us. Congratulations on your success, and also good luck to you in the next rounds. See ya. You want to come up too or no? You don't have to. Okay. It's up to you. Perfect. Last one. Okay. Tell us who you are and your age.
I'm Krishna Rolabandi. I'm currently 11 years old.
Okay. And what is your rating?
Like 2000-ish.
Okay. 2000-ish. Awesome. And where are you from?
I'm from Charlotte here.
Oh, you live in Charlotte. Nice.
Yeah.
Charlotte. So you have a nice chess scene. Pretty awesome. That's pretty cool. How many points do you have in the tournament?
3.
3. Okay. 3 out of 3. Great job. Keep it up. So what section are you in?
The K-8.
K champ.
Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome. Good stuff there. What is your favorite openings for white and black?
From white, I like always play D4. And for black, like Sicilian is one of my favorites, and E5.
And E5. Say E5. And then what about against D4?
Against D4, like D5.
Okay. Against Queen's Gambit, do you play Queen's Gambit declined, or do you play semi-Slav or Slav or something?
Queen's Gambit declined, and like Grunfeld.
And Grunfeld, nice. Very, very solid. Of course, Grunfeld is very dynamic. Has some good Grunfeld games and some very bad ones. So it's very dynamic, live by the sword, die by the sword type thing. So very, very strong stuff. What was your favorite food while you were here?
Didn't really eat much here, but like I did eat like a Cinnabon.
Okay. Oh yeah, you live here, so yeah, you just go home and like eat whatever. Yeah, that's understandable. Perfect. That's good stuff. Do you have any players you look up to in chess that you've crafted your style to be like?
Like Carlsen mostly.
Carlsen, nice.
And like just like any top player.
Nice. That's very good. Yeah, you just want to watch their games. This is how you get better, and etc. Anything that you would like to say to the audience and any chess goals of yours?
Just like keep playing chess and love it.
And love it. Awesome. What's your goal?
Probably to hit like Grandmaster one day.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good. Good stuff, man. Congratulations. Good luck on your the rest of your games, and congrats on the success.
Okay. Thank
See you later. No problem. Awesome, guys. We've had a lot of kids come up today and hang with us. You get to see where the National Festival, ChessKid National Festival, pretty awesome. So good to have you guys watching us all. As we get back to the games, let's see who is doing what and where. Who is doing what and where? Looks like a few games left in this round. Thank you, Chess on Earth. What up, Pepper? What's good? What's good? Keep up the good work. Yes, sir, man. I'm here with ChessKid National Festival. So it's good. It's going great. I actually have to leave, unfortunately, tonight. Be back home, but yeah, I'm enjoying my time here in ChessKid National Festival. I see you guys in chat. It's been pretty good. We got some games left. Let's actually pull up, see what I got. Andrew's game looks like Andrew is winning. And then pawn in game. And the pawn in game. Krishna has already won on board 3. King G7 was the last move. King G7. What was actually going on though? How did they get here? Rook H3, Knight D4, Queen D3. Bishop C8 hits the rook. Rook went back home to H1. Castles, Knight E2. Knight E6, Queen F3, Knight C5. Knight G3, there could be some sacrifices here on H5. But didn't that just blunder in Bishop G4? Play King G7, but why is the engine not jumping all over Bishop G4? Oh, Knight F6. Yikes, that's going to be annoying. Knight F6 and Knight takes G4. King G7, just getting out of the checks. Now it's white to move. Now Bishop G4 is a real threat. What do we do? Knight takes H5. You have Knight F5. Maybe Knight E3. See what the engine says. Knight F5 is the move, but I can't. It's not clear. And so that's why it's hard to make a move like this. Knight F5 is not very clear. Knight F5, yes, okay, the king's open. And you have this diagonal, but it's just not very clear. In fact, even engine is recalibrating what they said. So after Knight F5, let's see what they say. Yeah, they said you're supposed to take it. Queen A3 was not the move, apparently. They didn't like this at all. That meaning the engine did not like this at all. Maybe a B4 there. But what Black was doing is just getting off of this line of Bishop G4 coming next, which is quite annoying. Okay, so far so good. Yeah, add Vic. Oh, this is this game. Okay, Vihan. Whoa, what is going on? Oh, White's, yeah, this is the piece. This is the piece game. White's up a piece. Harith. Okay. White is going to win this one too. Looks like Rook A7's coming. Alan Chin. What happened here? Wait, that is not the right game. Alan Chin, there we go. Let's refresh. Okay, pretty level. 2 bishops versus 2 rooks. Queen G5 happened, question mark move. Oh, threatening rook takes. So I was like, yeah, something's weird here. They want rook takes D4, which is a really strong move, using and taking advantage of the pin here. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool. Yeah, Queen G5 happened, so now we're just waiting for Black to move. Well, actually, there's time is getting low too as well. 5 minutes. King G7. Is that a blunder? It is. Look at that. Well, rook takes D4, and that is a resignation, or it could be immediately after rook takes D4, played instantly. Rook takes D4, and that is game over. That is a shocker, especially when you're not expecting it. Now, you could do something like H6, but that doesn't work at all, as rook D7 is going to end the game. This one's already over. Rook takes D4 is up a piece now. That is game over. Alexandra, what's up? Good to see you in chat. Oh, thanks for the raid. I see you raiding us. Thank you for the raid there, Alexandra Samaganova. Hello, Frank. I see you in chat. We are here at the ChessKid National Festival as we see some games going on. Rook D7 played instantly. This guy, I don't even think he wrote his move down. He moved that so fast, he didn't even write down the moves. Rook D7 check. There. Sir Isaac, hello. I see you in our chat. Hello, how are you? Rook D7 check is a nasty check here. If you move the king, you get mated in a few here. So only moves are Rook F7 or Bishop to F7. Then we have to move the queen, Bishop F7 played. Now maybe Queen E7, putting pressure on the pin piece, as we say at ChessKid. Rook F1 could be a possibility as well. So Alan with a nice find there to end up winning the game, or at least coming up on winning. Keyshawn here. So this game was interesting. I knew the queen, like, if we go through how we got here on this game, this was just very strange. Like, okay, we have a Rossalimo, but the queen went to some strange squares that we don't know if it was like a mouse slip or something. Oh, okay. Yeah, they fixed it. They ended up fixing it. But the queen, they had the queen going to like D3 right now, but it was like, I don't know, some transmission error. But they did actually take on D7 and then take Rook A3, and now, believe it or not, after the queen gets trapped here, all right, Bishop C7, but okay. So we get 2 rooks for the queen. If you think about that, 2 rooks is 10 points versus the queen being 9. So we also have both of our rooks, a bishop and a knight. So yes, this is why the eval bar, as we reach this position right here, says it's zeros, believe it or not, equal even without the queen here. It's because the activity of my pieces that I have 4 pieces, all of them being active, except really the knight, and black not having 2 rooks, but having a bishop and a knight. Sun Temple Radio, hello, see you in chat. So Rook A8 with the idea of discovery, Bishop E7 is going to be very, very strong. H5, check. I wonder if there was something stronger. There's nothing. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, check. Rook B8, very nice, defending B2 by attacking the queen here. Queen C2, H3 makes some loot for the queen, the king that is. Knight E6 hits the bishop, we move it away, defense. Bishop E5 is a really strong move, cutting off the king from this square. Yes, there's no checks now, but he is cutting him off. So Rook to B7, hitting the F7 pawn with check coming. King G7, Rook D1. Apparently that's a blunder. So let's see why. Maybe not blunder, it's question mark move. Why? Idea is Rook D7. Why is this a question mark? It's a good question. Maybe Knight D4 or Knight F4. Let me see what the engine says. They say H4. No one's playing that one. G5 and King G8, which is ridiculous. So yeah, no one's going to play that move. In fact, we don't understand. Engines always give you that kind of crap. So that's just funny. Knight to C5 hitting the rook. It says it's a miss in a way, but the rook is hanging. It makes sense as a human practically. Also, knight takes E4 is coming as well. If you move the rook somewhere careless, knight takes E4 deflection so that we can take. E7 might be the move here. Just put a tempo on the board. I'm a fan of tempo or tempi, meaning plural. Let's try to make as many as possible because good things happen. There it is. Rook E7 hitting the bishop. If King F6, we have this cool move, Bishop D8. Hard move to spot, but I think this one is going to maybe put black in some trouble if we see King F6. Bishop F6 is probably more logical, and then maybe move the rook. I don't know where. After that, Bishop F6. It's going to be quite an annoying move, actually, if I may say so. Bishop F6, that is kind of annoying. I have to move maybe here or here. But okay, this is the live position. So, okay, that one's done. We'll keep moving around. That's Keyshawn on board what? That Bishop F6 play, by the way. What board was that? Oh, this was board 8. Just moving around. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games left. Yeah, 5 games. Okay, so let's see. 1 here. This is round 3. Oh, this is mate coming in the next move here. Nothing you can even do about it. You can throw in the engine check. What they do in the engine, and then you just take it. But what happened? How did we get here? Oh, yeah, I remember this. So we got Queen F2 in. We got Queen G3. And you see how white is attacking here. It's very aggressive. You play stuff like G6 or F6. And then after Knight A4, G6 happened, which is really strong. Breaking up the king side. There was a capture on C3. but an in-between or Zug. Pawn takes h7 with check. King takes and completely winning for white. Pawn takes knight. We're only going for mate. f6, beautiful move, breaking up the shelter around the king. g6, check on h4, king g8. And the reason why queen h6 doesn't work now is because it can be defended by queen f8. Rook f3, beautiful rook lift. How do you even get out of this? Is it even possible? It says mate in 9. And it says mate in 9. So it's not even possible to even get out of this. Queen e6, rook h3. Yeah, queen takes h3 is just inevitable. Queen takes, and then queen h6. There was a rook d4 here. Wait, what happened? Oh, that was probably a fumble on the board. Rook d1 was played. So the last spite check or the last, engine move check. This one's going to be ending in any moment after queen g7 is mating. Great game from Juan Quinn here on board 14. And now we have 1, 2, only 3 games left in round 3. Keyshawn here, still fighting with 2 rooks. 2 rooks. Let's go here to board 3. Whoa, this is spicy. Oh, this is the game. Yeah, I remember this game. So queen went to a3 is where we left off. b5. I can just take that, and which just happened because there's a pin. I can just take that. So bishop d7. Blunder. Wow. Oh, I could just take on a6. Yeah, just take on a6. 2 pawns there. Knight a6. Don't believe in it. We saw queen takes d6. Why is bishop take? I think I win a piece. Bishop takes a6, queen b6, knight b4, rook b8, c3. Looks like this. Bishop takes, queen. Well, actually, you can't go queen b6. So maybe like bishop something. Bishop b5 check? That's a good move. I guess I take it? Is that what you're saying? It just says give up the queen. That is crazy. That is just insane. And look at the eval bar. Eval bar is just crushing for white, even though the queen's not on the board. But human-like, very human-like was, I think, queen takes d6 is very human. You get in the pawn there, very practical. So, happens. Queen d6 ideas, queen takes e5 check is the next move. Andrew won. Okay. Krishna won. Advik is still playing. Vishan's game. Whoa, is that pawn? Oh, man, look at the cool tactics here, guys. Tactics win games. King e7, knight c5, and then king d6, and Vihan found a beautiful resource, which is pawn to c7. If you take it, which happened, knight e6 check, king here, knight takes. Rook is coming next, which is all happening right now. Now, what you don't want is, okay, this could steal some problems if you're not careful. I would go f3 first to stop this pawn from pushing, walk my king up this way. You want to have ideas and plans. So after f3, then we're going to go king h3, king h4, take this, bring this king around. Zugzwang will definitely be a thing because we have the knight versus the pawn. So if we need a waiting move, we can always move the knight around. f3, king h3, king h4, take, maybe run the king back around, take, and push and queen one of the pawns. This is the plan. And now we try to execute the plan. We have a bunch of time too, Vihan having 10 minutes, 10 and a half versus his opponent who has 240 left. Let's see what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, what was the 4? 1. Oh, this game. Okay. Keyshawn. Okay, so this is Keyshawn, which we looked at before. I'm just going to see anything left. So it's 2 games left. 3. Yeah, so we have to find them all. Advaith, Vihan, Keyshawn. This is the Keyshawn game. What happened in the last few moves? Oh, yeah, we saw rook e7, bishop f6. We mentioned this, rook c7. Knight takes e4. Yeah, we saw this tactic, actually. I think we talked about this tactic before. Can I go? Oh, you can't. Maybe. Oh, yeah, it's queen f2 as well. Yikes, you already might be losing. This might already be losing. Queen f2 is really strong. We would love to get rook and d7 in. Problem is you might be mated, actually. Check. Well, sorry. Here, h1. Check. Either check. Either's fine. And then bishop check. And then bishop takes his mate. Very cool mate. Very cool. So you can't rook lift to d7 as you would like to. Yeah, rook f1 was played, trying to stay in the game as much as I can, says Keyshawn. Add Vic as we go back to the top. Let me actually refresh this page. I'm not sure if any moves happened. Oh, yeah, queens are off the board. So we had a bunch of action. Queen takes d6, bishop g4, straight of queens, f3, kick the bishop away. 3-4, 3-6. White's just up 2 pawns, trying to convert. And guys are both low on time. Anything can happen. Is basically like a blitz game. Anything can happen in these fast time controls. At Vic, Vihan, Keyshawn here. Okay. Vic F1, and then yeah, we just wait. We just wait around, kind of wait. What to do, Jedi? What up? Hey, what's up, Blue? What's good, man? How high is their elo? I think the highest is 2100 here. Best chess player, the highest. Well, we only have about 3 games left. We are just cycling through the games. So let's see if we need any kids from the crowd. Anyone want to come up and talk about your experience? Anyone that hasn't come up yet? Would you like to come on to the stream? You or you? One of you guys talk about your experience here at ChessKid. You can come up. Since we are waiting for the last 3 games to finish, we kind of talked about everything here. So we're going to say hello to some of the chat here. Say hello. You can sit over here. You can sit next to me here. And we're just going to take a few questions from you about your experience, maybe how you're doing in the tournament and stuff like that. So you can put your name, say your name.
My name
You
is
can
Luca.
scoot over a little bit.
Okay.
Luca?
Yes.
Nice. That's a nice name. We have like Luka Doncic. You like the basketball player as well. I'm sure you get that a lot. Luca, pretty cool name. Nice. Luca, how old are you?
I'm 11 years old.
And what section are you in? Are you in K5, K8,
K5.
K5 under, or K5 champ? Is there a champ?
K5.
K5
under.
champ, yeah. K5 under.
Oh wait, K5 champ.
K5 champ. Okay, so K5, nice. You're in a K5. What's your score so far?
It's 0.
Okay, it happens. Absolutely. You play 3 rounds, of course, it does happen. The good thing is that if you lose some games, you just have to learn from the games. And you also have to, Hikaru says, you should have short-term memory loss when it comes to losses. So get over it. You lost a game. There's thousands of games that you're going to play, especially if you're playing online. I've played thousands of games in one opening right now that I can think about. So you have lots of games and lots of growth to do. And losing is learning, is what they say. So if you've learned and you really didn't lose, yes, you might have lost on paper, but you really didn't lose because you did some learning. So a few things that we say as well is, what is your favorite part of the event so far?
Right now it's been the Blitz Championship.
How'd you do?
It was 2-0.
2-0. Nice. Sweet. Went in there 2-0. Pretty good. Awesome job there. You went 2-0. Did you participate in any other events?
Mostly every other.
Mostly every event. Awesome. Great job. What was your favorite food here so far?
The bagels.
The bagels. Okay. Bagels are good. And do you have any players that you look up to, like a favorite player or favorite players?
I do like to look at Hikaru.
Hikaru. Nice. That's a big favorite of mine as well. Perfect. What's your openings? What do you like to play with white and black?
4 knights or Italian.
Okay. 4 knights or Italian. And what about against D4?
The England Gambit.
England Gambit. Nice. Okay. You England Gambiters out there, you got another one right here. You have another one with Luca here. So England Gambit is quite an annoying opening, but it is very fun. And if you play an unorthodox style, a lot of times you can be able to get good advantages over your opponent and actually even win the game there. Anything that you would like to say to the chat and the viewers watching today about maybe even chess growth, or just want to say hello, or do you have any YouTube channel or anything like that, any socials for everyone just to go subscribe to?
Go subscribe to Levy and James Canty.
Nice. There you go. That's a great guy right there. Of course, as you hear it from Luca himself. So great job. Good to have you here. Congratulations on making it this far as in your chess career. And, we wish you the best of luck in the rest of the tournament.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Anyone else coming up? All right. What you got? England is fun. Yeah, exactly, Luther. England is fun. Oh, man. Okay. All right. Tell us who you are.
My name is Lucas.
Okay. Hello, Lucas. How old are you?
8.
8 years old. All right, Lucas. What is your favorite part of the tournament so far? Or the ChessKid Festival, I should say. Who's your absolute favorite part of the ChessKid Festival? It's a hard answer.
Yeah.
A lot of fun stuff.
Meeting Gotham Chess.
Meeting Gotham Chess. Nice. Meeting Gotham Chess, signing some autographs right there, getting stuff signed. We got Gotham Chess here. So pretty cool. What section are you in?
3
Okay.
under 800.
Okay, under 800. Nice. And how many points do you have so far?
Half point.
Okay, perfect. You're on the board. Hey, and now it's more about, remember, learning, right? You may lose some games, you may win some games, but you always ask, even in the games that you win and you may have like just absolutely crushed the guy, which happens, you still can learn from that game too. So it's all about learning, and losing is learning. So if you lose a game, hey, so what, it happens. This is how you get better through losing. It may suck, but it also is part of the process. And if you learn from it, you didn't really lose any at the end of the day. So pretty good there. What's your favorite openings for white and black?
There's only one. There's only one white one that I know.
What is it?
The Alien Gambit.
The Alien Gambit. Wow. That is against the Carol Khan. So he must be an E4 player. And then against E4 and D4. So you're playing black now. What are your favorite openings?
That's mostly it.
Yeah, that's a hard one. The black side, usually because you have to move, second, is sometimes harder to find and things to do there. But, make sure if you like, the Alien Gambit, there definitely are some gambits that you can play with black on both sides. Like the England Gambit may be nice for you against D4. And against E4, you can play kind of whatever you like, but make sure you follow some chess principles like, develop your pieces, center control, castle your king. These are things that will really help you in every single game there. So perfect. We talked about opening choice, talked about a few other things. What is your favorite food since you've been here?
The pizza.
The pizza. Nice. Is this cheese pizza or with pepperoni?
Actually, it has pepperoni. It's barbecue.
Oh, barbecue. Man, this guy's eating good over here. So
I do.
yeah, very, very nice. In fact, good. So do you have any questions or not any questions, any tips that you can give to the audience or anyone that is looking to maybe come to another ChessKid, or do you have anything you promote yourself, maybe a YouTube channel or something like that?
No.
Okay, perfect. Well, good to have you with us. Congratulations on making it this far and also coming to the ChessKid National Festival, the very first one. So we wish you the best of luck in the rest of your rounds.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, cool. That's cool, man. That's cool. We got the kids here. Yeah, secrets. Yes, yes. What's up, Mickey? Hello. We got the kids here doing their thing. Wow, this became a draw, actually. Believe it or not, this game here with the queen off the board, they just kind of repeated. I guess one was getting low on time. Oh, yeah. Something looks like. Did black use any time? I'm just curious. Was he insta moving? No, not really. Okay, so it just kind of reset. Okay, yeah. So it did. It just kind of reset. The timer did. But apparently they got a draw here in the last few moves as we were interviewing the kids and talking to them. Yeah, this just ended in a draw. Okay. Any other games available? Looks like round 3 is over, guys. Oh, no, we have one more. One more game, and white is completely winning now after what move? Okay. 3-4, 3-4. Oh, yeah, he just has the pawns, but these guys are very low on time. Anything can happen in low time, in time trouble. So that's what's going on. Is black's in some time trouble, white's in some time trouble. Black's getting kind of low on time too as well, but this is the last game of round 3. ChessKid National Festival, round 3 is finishing up soon. Well, welcome, guys. I see you in chat. Good to have you here with ChessKid National Festival, day 2, round 3. Round 4 is around 2 p.m. So make sure you guys are there for that as well. So it looks like rook c6 just happened. And after rook c6, our plan is to push the b pawn through. Very easy plan, but definitely about to happen. So these guys are living on the increment. Whoa, maybe there's a delay there. Some type of delay. Yeah, he's pushing the b pawn through, as you see here. f5 is not going to do anything. We don't even have to touch this pawn on e4. It's nicely and well defended. Takes, take back with the pawn or the knight, doesn't really matter. Actually, no, knight takes with a loss a piece after knight takes c4. So you had to take this way. Pawn takes. Okay. Knight b7. Oh, is there a rook check? Almost. Rook d7's there. Almost working. Almost. Almost, guys. There's a check. There is the check. Rook d7. Do you trade or not to trade, right? He trades. Bishop takes. Knight b6. There's this nice c5 move. It's really annoying. He stops at knight e4. Makes total sense. Knight d6. Oh, now he's attacking the pawn. Bring the other knight, knight d, to c3. Could be the next move that's played. Great job. With the idea of trying to push through. Bishop here didn't really do much. We can push now. And then follow it with knight c5. There it is. Knight push. Knight c. That's the goal. Bishop here. Knight c5. Hits the bishop and push. Knight c5 push. Yeah, I think you should be close to queenie here. 8 seconds. Knight c5. Played. Hitting the bishop. Bishop moves away. Great move. Not allowing b7. We might go bishop d5 though. Really try to make this thing. This guy's playing every move. Every move I'm predicting correct. Pawn takes. Takes. Push. Wait a second. That's a piece. That's a piece. This could be over. This could be over for black. This could definitely be over for black very soon. Knight e4, pre-moves almost. Knight takes, knight back to e4. And you can just push the c pawn through. I mean, all of the pawns. Whoa. Oh, man, did you see the little king jump there? We all thought the king went to e4, but it actually went to c4. Hey, what's up, buddy? It actually went to c4. Push. Maybe check. Try to walk around this way. You could also go the simple route, knight a6 and push. Very easy way of doing things. King d3. Idea is to just get close to these pawns while we queen one of these. King g6. Okay. Still like knight a6. Knight e4. c4, c5, d6 play. I don't know, maybe premature. No, but he can't take it. Yeah, he can't take it. He can't take it without, the b pawn queening. So this one's over here. You're going to be in Zugzwang very soon, or Zugzwang, however you're going to say it. King here, push. King here. That's a good one. Wait, this is falling, huh? Whoa, I mean, it's still winning. Check, yeah, he decided to go this route. Has to be here. King c6, push. Bishop, yeah, this is losing. I can't push that yet. Okay, that's clever. So maybe I could walk the king up. And then, whoa, d7 feels a little strange. Definitely feels a little strange. You do have c6 next, I guess. But it does work out. It does work out. C6 is very strong. And then you can just walk the king up, something like this. Have yourself a good game. There is very low on time for both players, though. Bishop to a7, c6. c7 is coming. C7 is coming. You also have to worry about mates like this, which is very possible too as well. King c7, cannot do anything about it. This is why you can't take due to the queen. So knight check is very nice. Oh, it works. C7 works immediately. Takes and queen with check. And this should do it here. Advik is going to win this game. If he can move fast enough, you do have the 5-second increment. Queen the other way. C8 queen was with check, which seems to be a little bit more accurate because you're doing things with check. But nevertheless, this game's over as well. King e4, no stalemates. You got to push. Queen takes e5, and it's going to be mate in a future. Check. Okay. There it is. We're gonna hopefully see. Hopefully he knows what he's doing with the checkmate. I'm sure he does. There it is. And Queen D7's coming. King D7 only move to not get mated immediately. Check there and check and there and check and check, 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 check. Check. Okay. Nice. What is going on? Checkmate. Perfect. This was caught up to the game. In fact, they were making these moves OTB, and looks like Advic wins this game. So really strong. I think that is all the games. Yes, that's all the games. All 18 on DGT boards have finished in this round. So this is round 3. I will be doing coverage on round 4 as well with my co-host. Don't know who that is yet, so we will see. It's either Mike Klein or Danny Renz or one of those guys. So guys, don't go anywhere. Of course, maybe you can. In fact, the next round is around 2 p.m. So we'll see you guys then. We have the next round coming up, round 4 of the ChessKid National Festival. We'll see you guys then.